to Movie Night, the night where we talk about movies. Tonight, we are going to be talking about the first movie that we made. It's called a little movie called RIDESHARE. Since Uncanny is the co-host for Friday nights, I made him watch RIDESHARE, and then he's going to interview me and talk to me about it. He had some questions and everything about that. And yeah, it's a celebration, baby. I guess, and welcome back. I was out in Tahoe on vacation for the last two movie nights, so that's why we postponed. I hope you guys saw the post. If not, that's okay. We forgive you. All right, it's movie night. Get ready. And 3, 2, 1, go. If I can figure this out.
It's movie night, baby, movie. Movie night, baby. 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 Watch a movie and we talk about it. And we talk about it on the show. Watch a movie and we talk about it. And we talk about it on the show. Movie night. Movie night, baby. 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 Hey ho, and a guest. What a duo. Movie night on YouTube. Hey ho, and a guest. What a duo. Movie night on YouTube. Ooh, babe. Movie night, baby. 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 It's movie night, baby. It's movie night, baby. 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 Movie night, baby.
All right, welcome to Movie Night, the night where we talk about movies. I'm your host, Tremain Hayhoe, writer, director, filmmaker, janitor. And over here to the right of you and the left of me is Uncanny, the co-host. Hello.
Hey, what's up?
What up? What up? How's it going? So I got you there in the corner since you're just an image. I hope this is better. We're trying to get things. We're trying to streamline things here, trying to make them good for the viewer and the listener and everything. We got Tommy in the house. What's up, Tommy?
Hey, Tommy.
Hey, Tommy. So tonight, as I said in the intro, we're going to talk about the movie RIDESHARE. So I pressured Uncanny to watch the first movie. I said, you cannot be co-host of a podcast that's from Hayhoe Studios without watching the first movie from Hayhoe Studios. And he did, and he watched it. So
that was your first movie, huh?
the first movie I ever made in my life. Yes.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that going into it. And I would not have thought so because it was very well made. I really liked it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I mean, the first feature film, right? I'd made a bunch of short films, music videos. I've done wedding videos, other types of videos, even makeup tutorial type stuff. So, you apply everything you learn on set, and then I put that into the first movie. So, yeah, it's technically the first feature film that I made, but it's not the first project, not the first rodeo, right? I've been making them for many, many years.
Yeah, but that's the first feature film, though. That's
Correct.
the first big kahuna.
Yes, correct. The first big kahuna. We got Absalon family in the house. What is up? Hello there. Hello. Yeah. So yeah, the first big, and that is a thing where you always want. Oh,
You
okay.
getting
Just
haunted?
uh, there's just someone. It sounded like gunshots outside my window, but it's someone lighting fireworks outside the window. So it gave me a little fright. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but it is. Wow. You
It
guys.
sounds like someone's desperately trying to break into your room, almost like a horror movie, you might say.
Oh wow, yeah. Don't even joke about that. I wish. Yeah, I hope
Oh,
that. I.
that was my bridge to talking to getting back to rideshare.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes. That was a good bridge. Good bridge.
so I was thinking tonight maybe I could ask you some questions. Maybe kind of like a little bit interview style with a little bit, an informal interview. Because I am interested. You're the only feature film making person that I know, director and writer. So I'm kind of interested a little bit in the craft, and specifically about rideshare. So does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that sounds great to me. Let's do it.
All right. So I have to ask the first question, right? Which is, what inspired you to write and create rideshare? Like, where did that come from?
Well, the when you're making your first movie, I think it's good to make a horror movie because the audience is a bit more forgiving in that sense. You're able to get a little bit more leeway in that regard. And I had been thinking about ideas about what my first movie would be, and I was going through an existential crisis of turning 30. So when I turned 30, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm 30 years old now. What have I done with my life? I haven't even made a feature film yet. What is my deal?" As someone does when they turn 30. But I'd been in LA for a while, and it's like, "Oh, Tremain, you call yourself a filmmaker, but you haven't made a feature film." So I'm like, "Oh, I better go do that." And then I was getting burnt out being hired by other people to do their videos, even working with musicians, making music videos for them, and or anyone where you're just dealing with other people's videos and other people's content. And I was getting really burnt out on that, so much so that I was Uber driving at night, or I'd Uber drive it on the weekends. And also, to save money and not spend money going out on the weekends in LA, I'd make money Uber driving at night. And I had just gone through so many instances where you pick up. I think it's really a lot tougher as a driver than it is a writer, because when you're driving, you're picking up 10 to 20 people a night, right? Somewhere around there. And not all of them are nice people. Most of
No.
them, vast majority of people are nice, but some are characters and some aren't. And then, an internal dialogue kind of formulates where, especially if you're thinking about, right, if you're a writer or creative, you can think about, oh, what if we did this? What if we did that? I don't know if you recognize.
Oh,
Oh, oh, oh.
now I'm in charge. Ha ha.
Ha 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 huzzah. Yeah, I didn't know what that was all about, but anyway, um, we're gonna switch it back. Okay, we'll figure it out.
I look very menacing, and now my eyes are looking right at you.
They are. They really. Oh, now, yeah, now they're looking on the side. I don't know. This looks actually better the other way. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So that's just kind of what it was. Oh, I know we're gonna do this.
I can actually tell that. I can actually tell that too, because it's interesting is when you go through the movie, right? I mean, it starts off pretty, some stuff's going to go down, right, just by how the intro is. But as the main character is going through, Jason is going through his night, you kind of get this, like an assorted chocolate box kind of style of different people and personalities, and like some of them are like kind of kooky and some of them are like super annoying. It's I It makes sense now knowing that's kind of the inspiration you drew from that.
Yeah, I mean, the movie pretty much wrote itself. And so I was just thinking, like, okay, what could I make? Something that's low budget, something that is feasible to make with limited locations, a handful of actors, and an easy premise to tell. And I'm like, well, what about a killer rideshare driver, killer Uber driver? and all these thoughts of like what I wouldn't do or what I wouldn't say would, or say in real life or actually do in real life. Those thoughts came in, and the movie essentially wrote itself. And a lot of the dialogue was verbatim. I mean, as an Uber driver too, when you're driving, people ask you the same questions every night. Oh, have you been doing this long? Oh, do you do Lyft as well? Oh, or how long are you going to be driving tonight? Right. So all those types of questions, and then a bunch of different types of characters. You got the characters that are just on their phones the whole time. They don't say two words. Ones that want you to play music, ones that don't want you to play music, ones that right. So you get the whole gamut of personalities. And then for Jason, for the character, I can kind of live vicariously through him. It's like, well, what if I was, what if I was a killer? But when you're driving, when you're driving, though, you pick up. I would go to a back alleyway at 2 a.m. to pick up Jamie. Right. You don't know if it's a guy or girl. You don't know what they look like. At least at the time, I don't know if it's different now. This is back in 2016 when I was driving, coming up with the idea for the movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you don't know anything about them. They could be the first time they've ever used Uber. You could be picking up Jack the Ripper for all I know. Right.
That's true. The shoe could be on the other foot.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Totally. So that's kind of, and there's been more incidents of course, there's been a lot of incidents with really creepy, terrible Uber drivers, but there's also been a lot of incidents with riders. Like I think one of the top guys at Taco Bell had a drunken tirade and beat up his Uber driver and got fired the next day because he was on dash cam. So
or like a bunch of people leaving the bar and then puking in your car or something like that.
Yeah,
which probably a little more common than like killing people, but
yeah, that happened once to me, and luckily they give you like a $250 cleaning fee, so that's kind of nice. You spend $60 on getting it cleaned, and you get to pocket a little bit extra there. So it's not the worst of the world, And but yeah, I mean, I didn't do it enough. It was just kind of I would do it Friday, Saturday typically, and it was good. It kept me out of trouble. Well, yeah, for the most part, kept me out of trouble. And then the movie wrote itself, and then I finally set a deadline. It was in October, and I'm like, okay, I got to finish the script by Halloween. I think I said, and I went to
spooky.
So I went to the Beverly Hills Library, and I had the app on my phone. So it's the Celtics app, CELTX, and I would just sit there in the library and just be like this. For like 8 hours a day. And people were like, I'm sure the librarians and stuff, because I was there every day, pretty much the same time. I'd be there from 10 to 6 or 9 to 5 or something like that. Like, why is this guy going to the library to just be on his phone the whole time? But the beauty about the library, though, is that you could, any screenwriting books, it was right there. Any other things for inspiration, you could just grab it. So, I'd find a stack of books that I wanted to look at, or if I get stuck writing something. And then they had a cafe there. So I would eat, I'd eat lunch at the cafe, and then and
they won't kick you out.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's free. It's free to be there. And I would get Jelly Belly sours. I love those. They'd had those Jelly Belly sours, and I would get one of those bags at least a day, probably. Those got me through it. Yeah, and I wrote it in a couple weeks, like three weeks. So,
hey, I won't spoil. Maybe we can talk a little bit more later. But that you in the library reminds me of a certain scene from a certain other project. But you, I'm sure you know what I'm. What I'm
now I know.
about.
Yeah, that took me a second, but yes.
So I have a question about Jason. Actually, I have a couple of comments, and then I have a question. So the main character, Jason, I really liked him. I thought that, and we kind of talked. Admittedly, we had talked about this off screen last week a little bit, but I don't know if you. I think you've watched those old Red Letter Media Mr. Plinkett videos, and he really reminded me in like the cadence, the voice, the serial killing, like really remind me of Mr. Plinkett, and so I got a huge kick out of it. But he's an interesting character because he, on the one hand, it seems like he kind of does want to relate with like cool people, right? Like he has a whole conversation with the guy, Tracy, right?
Or
And they
yeah,
have talk
Trace.
about
Yeah.
life and aliens. But on the other hand, he's also kind of like nihilistic and like I'm better than all the sheep. So like, how did you get inspired to kind of create that mindset? Because he is a pretty unique character.
Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. Once you get going on a character, it's fun to think about what he could say or what he would think about. And also, it was a lot of those dark thoughts that I would think about these people, these winners that I would pick up at all times. And but it's really funny. You learn a lot about how people treat you, right? If you're, I would go from being a director on a set, and then I'd be like Uber driving. So there's that weird dynamic of. Have you ever heard that expression? If someone's nice to you, but they're not nice to the waiter, or you're the taxi driver, or or the Uber driver, they're not really a nice person, right?
Absolutely, because then it's all
Yes.
positional.
Right. Yeah. And it was also kind of exploring the gray areas of life. Like, not all bad people are always bad all the time. Not all good people are good at all times. Good people have done bad things. Bad people have done good things. And yeah, so it was kind of a fun character to explore. And then he's got the deadpan humor, and a lot of people that don't get it, I guess, or they think that that he's being serious. He's not. He's got this really deadpan, very dark, snide, sarcastic humor, which definitely comes from a real place from me, believe it or not. But but it was just fun. It was fun to write, and yeah, it was fun to write, and fun for him. You're writing along with this psychopath, essentially, is what what he is.
Oh
But
yeah.
he's a little bit more complicated than just a bad guy, right? He's
Yeah,
like a one
he's
note.
well, it's like, you think about other great like great villains, and like one of my favorite, I think, in a classic horror movie is it's from Silence of the Lambs, and it's the guy who's
Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal Lecter,
Yeah.
right? It's like on the one hand, Hannibal Lecter is clearly like a psychopath, right? I mean, he not only does he like unalive people, but he's eating them, right? But on the other hand, he is like a genius, right? Like he literally every single line that that he speaks to Clarice, he's poking and prodding. He's trying to figure out what makes her tick. And you get this feeling by the end that he actually kind of is rooting for Clarice because she was so entertaining to him.
Yes. Yes. Right. Yeah. And he's actually really smart, and he's sophisticated, and he's yeah, he's more than just a cannibal.
Right.
Um, you
Like he's
know,
a monster, but man, he's a really smart and can be very charming and very like sophisticated monster.
right. Yeah, exactly. And that's what makes him more interesting. Yeah, that's what makes it more. That's well, yeah. He's not just because I hate I think I always say the movie is always as good as the bad guy. You know.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
yeah, so which was kind of really interesting because with this one, it's like okay, the main character is the bad guy, right? And so I'm like, well, who's going to be the antithesis of this guy, right? So instead of having a bad character, there's kind of a worse character, or there are two bad characters, right? But we'll get into that maybe a
His
little bit more.
patron.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the guy that hires him to do the special drives.
Yep. Yeah, that's really cool. Can you can we go over kind of the story of how you got that actor who played Jason? Because
Yes,
that's
I
a
actually.
really interesting story.
So yeah, so yeah, we had talked last week when we were could have done it, but we couldn't do it last week. I was on that shoot, but anyway, yes. So I had cast every single character in the movie. And everyone said yes, except for the lead character that I had originally written the movie for. Believe it or not, I wrote the movie originally for the guy who sung the song Chocolate Rain, Days on Day, Chocolate Rain. And he became a friend of mine, and he'd talked about how he'd always wanted to be the bad guy in a movie or kind of a Nurse Ratched type. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Yeah, that would be awesome. And I'm thinking about this is while I was writing Rideshare. I'm like, okay, with his deep voice and his deadpan type humor, he could definitely pull it off. So I was thinking about Tay while I was writing it. And so everything that was written as it is right now, aside from one scene, which I'll get into later, was written for Tay Zonday. And so I talked to him about it, and he was the only guy that said no. So he said no to me. And it was after a while, because I mean, he's gotten a ton of crazy offers or people that want him to show up in a movie just to say Chocolate Rain or something like that. And, and he's done that. But it's funny though, because I think he's actually more open to be a cameo type role, because when he came back to it, he's like, oh man, there's a lot of lines. So there's a lot of lines to remember Tremain. And he always calls me Tremain and everything. But he's a really nice guy, but he politely declined the offer, which is totally fine and totally respectful, because I hadn't made a movie yet. So it's like, okay, I hadn't, I didn't have a proof of concept. It's not like I'd made a bunch of movies before. Say, hey, if you like the movies I made before, you'll like this movie. So he said no, and then I'm trying to find actors. I'm on LA Casting, and I'm putting casting notices out, and people that submit their auditions are just not up to par. They're all very terrible. I got some really horrible auditions. So I was having my existential crisis, because I'm like, I've casted everyone else. I had raised the money at that point. I'm pretty much good to go. But the only actor that I don't have is the lead actor, which is only the most important actor to find. Anyway, I get this call from this guy by the name of Bradman, who I met at the streaming convention. He was a Lively streamer. I don't know if you guys remember that app that came and went like the wind. It was called Lively or Live.me. I don't know. He was like this really big guy and really nice guy. But, we got in touch or whatever. We'd see each other at these events and everything. And he randomly calls me or texts me. He's like, hey, Tremain, my car has a flat tire. Can you come help me with my car? I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. Why don't you just call? And like, no, you go, why don't you call AAA? Call AAA, have them take care of it. That's not my wheelhouse, pun intended. And he goes, well, AAA is not going to be here for another 3 hours, or I don't know if that was true or not. I don't even know if he even had AAA, to be honest. But I'm like, well, where are you? He's like, well, I'm in Hollywood at this AM PM. I'm like, at this AM PM, and it ended up being a half a mile away from where I lived. So I'm like, damn it, gosh, damn it. All right, I was in the
ran out of excuses.
I know, ran out of excuses, but I'm in the middle of trying to cast my movie. Right. I'm like, oh gosh. But I was so frustrated. I'm like, okay, you know what? Maybe I need a break and I'll help my friend out. So I went down, I helped him jack up his car and get the wheel off and change the tire, put the spare on. And I think he had me drive his car for some reason, or he couldn't drive, or I don't forget. And oh no. Yeah, he had to drive. Or no, so yeah, he drove his car, but I had to drive my car following him, I guess, over back to his house just to make sure he's okay. And he's like, well, how are you doing, Tremain? I'm like, I'm fine. I'm kind of frustrated because I can't cast, I'm trying to find the lead of my movie and I can't cast him. He's like, well, you should cast me. You should let me audition. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, no, anytime anyone says that to me, it's so annoying, right? It's like, yeah, sure.
Right. Like it's not like a goodie bag that you can just hand someone. It's like, I'm going to place my professional reputation on this rando asking.
You're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'll give you a feature film role in my first motion picture. And it has lots of line of dialogue. But I'm like, you know what? I always like to give people at least a chance. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, I'll let you audition. Why not? by the way, I go to his car, and in the movie, I wrote the lead character drives a Prius because at that time, at least, all Uber drivers drove a Prius, but no, a Prius. And right, so I get to his car, and he's driving a Prius. So he's got a Prius. I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And then I see in there inside his car, there's an Uber sticker there. So I'm like, okay, so he's also an Uber driver / actor. All right. So the wheels are turning here a little bit. And I'm thinking, well, he already kind of has the lead car. That's half the work. But he looks completely different from what the original actor was supposed to look like. So anyway, we go back to his place. He's like, yeah, just let me read a scene, audition for me. I'm like, okay. So he does the audition. He's like, oh, wait, you know what? No, let's go in my car. And you sit in the back and I'll say my lines. And he was in the front seat, and he actually had a bucket hat like this. Or he had no, it wasn't a bucket hat. It was kind of like he had some type of hat on, or a taxi driver hat on.
The old man cap?
The old man cap. Yeah, which luckily he didn't wear. We didn't have him wear that for the movie. But so anyway, so he read the lines, and he looked in the mirror, and he looked at me in the mirror, and he goes, and he's doing the auditions, and I'm in the back, and he's just giving me chills, and I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh, he nailed he's like nailing it. And also because he's physically large man in the front, and then I'm in the back, like stuck in the Prius with this guy, and he's saying his lines. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, this is it. So he only read it, I think, once through. And
really?
I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's go back inside. He goes, oh, are you sure you want me to read it again? Do you want me to do it again? I'm like, no, it's okay. Let's just go back inside. And we go back in, and he goes, well, do you have any questions? Do you have any, are you sure I can read it again? Do you have a question for me or anything? I'm like, well, yeah, I have one question for you. Do you want to be the lead in this movie? And he said yes, and we high-fived each other, and the rest is history. And he's really so he's gotten recognized, I guess. He doesn't live in LA anymore. He's in Texas now or something like that, but he's gotten a little bit of notoriety, and he likes it, and he's been dying to do a sequel, which we'll talk about that later. But
I was going to ask if you might bring him back at some point, which would be an interesting conversation.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, I actually hit him up about tonight, and he couldn't make it tonight, but he wants to, in the future talk about it. But, yeah, so that's kind of how it all worked. It's the same guest, Chris. It's the same guest. But thank you for your hater comment, hater. Need to rewatch Silence of the Lambs. Thanks, guys. I know. You're welcome. I might need to watch it too. Yeah. So every Friday, Uncanny's going to be here, and he doesn't want to show his face. So I don't know, Uncanny. If you ever want to change your mind and want to show your face, people want to see.
I must agree with the haters. I am a combination of so poor that I can't afford the phone I'm using, and also a coward. But anyway. So that's really cool. I really like that because you hear about this sometimes, right? When you like listen to enough kind of behind the scenes like of movies, is that sometimes there's just this kind of almost providential, like it all clicks together in a way that it was not intended to, and it's not the normal process of selecting someone.
Well, yeah, not at all. That is not a normal process at all. And I think I kind of think it's a little bit of divine providence there, because it had been, I was looking at it, I was, the thing is with a movie, especially with the lead character, the lead actor, it had to be right. It had to be the right type of person. And oh, I'm back. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but it's okay. I'm going to X out of a lot of other stuff. So, it has to be the right, the scenes have to be right. The timing has to be right. The person, Mercury has to be in Jupiter or whatever, right? It's for because not all timing works. It could be the perfect actor, but then they might not be available, right?
They might be a Libra, and you might have to cut them.
Right, exactly. They might be a Libra, aren't you, darling? And yeah, so I mean, whatever it is, you just really have to, there's so many different factors in putting together a movie that, but yeah, this one it all worked out. So the stars aligned.
There we go. Hey, so my next question is actually it's kind of interesting. So as I'm watching this, right, like I've listened to a decent amount of podcasts about like serial killers and stuff, and watched plenty of Dateline with the wife. And
Oh yeah.
one thing that I notice is that there tends to be a trend and a similarity between unalivings with like serial killers, right? Which is that they tend to have like a pattern, right? So and it's something gets them all jazzed up, and then they kind of like fall into a certain way of like you know treating their victims or selecting their victims. But it's interesting is every death was distinct and different. And I'm curious kind of what what may have been the significance between beside for some of these deaths, and kind of how did you go about thinking about that?
Yeah, well, I was thinking about it had to be limited to one night, right? It just had to be one night, and even the night as the night progresses, hopefully this person wouldn't be able to get away with what he gets away with in the amount of time he gets away with it, even in with just one night. But I think I was just thinking about different type of creative ways. I think one was the train tracks that had to be done. There's a cool spot in LA where there's the train tracks, and we got that cool shot. And there's these train tracks that you can access, and there was a train that actually went. We didn't even time it at all or anything. So that train that went by was literally 30 minutes after we shot the scene of them on the train tracks. Right.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. But they weren't the same train tracks. We were on tracks that people weren't actually, they weren't actually using, but they were right there. I mean, the tracks were right where we were. So the train was coming. I'm like, oh crap, like get in the car, start filming. So when when that train goes by, that's a real train that goes by, and you don't have to show it, right? You don't have to show the train going over the bodies and stuff like that.
No, it's the implication.
Yeah, it's the implication. And it's even scarier, I think, that way. And for him, kind of as he looks on and he's smiling, he's got the smirk going as he watches the train go by. I think that's a bit more haunting. It's a bit more effective. So he's kind of getting his rocks off, for lack of a better term, of how to kill these different people.
I think that's the best term you could have used.
It is, yeah, it is. It is the best way. But just to be clear, that when he drugs them, people think that the people die right away. They don't die. He just uses that drug to get them to pass out, and then he kills them in other different ways.
Oh yeah. Well, I thought you did a good job. I assume that was the case, because all right, like not to get too like sound too weird, nothing. But if I'm trying to get in the mind of this guy, it's not. It's like the kind of power that he holds over them, right? Like if they were just already dead, then I think he probably wouldn't have enjoyed himself as much. But the other thing is, you showed that with the that one character. I forgot his name. He's the guy that eats the gummy bears. Was his name? Did you name him Tremain?
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
name him. He asked to be that name. He asked,
Really?
Yeah, he's my friend of mine, D Sharp. He's a good friend of mine, and he asked, he's like, "Oh, could my name be Tremaine?" Like that would be funny. And I'm sure it's always the joke too, because people, when they hear my name, they think I'm black. It's just happened. It happens all the time, and so yeah, he's like, "Hey, could my name be Tremaine?" So I'm like, "Yeah, why not?" I mean, right? But the thing is, people think, "Oh, this director is so egotistical. He named one of the characters after himself," right? And then it's like, well, yeah, I'm so egotistical. I named a character after myself, and then I lit myself on fire, right? So that's
And also you're so egotistical. You show up as a hobo. Hugh
Yes.
the Hobo, by the way.
Hugh the Hobo. Yes. Hugh the
Very,
Hobo.
very good superhero name, right? I'm getting some. You got the alliteration there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm always with movies, unless the name is Luke Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, or right. The names don't really matter. I've noticed. I mean, the lead character's name is Jason. Yeah, I don't know. It's just Jason Palmer just kind of came to me, and not to obviously the classic horror villain Jason.
Yeah,
It wasn't really an homage. It was more of just a regular name. You know, a lot of people's name could be Jason. So
yeah.
you
It
know,
could have been
Jason.
John. It could have been
Yeah,
David.
instead of saying Joe Schmo, right, which that would have been a bit too on the nose, like Jason Palmer. But someone else commented saying, "Oh yeah, the mom's last name or one of the actresses that played the mom in Friday the 13th's last name was Palmer." So they're like, "Oh yeah, it's an ode to her too," which it wasn't. I don't know what the connection was too, but there was a Palmer in one of those movies. But
Well,
anyway,
that's funny because that I feel like that happened. It's kind of a balance, right? It's like on the one hand, you have the concept of like Chekhov's gun, right, where everything has a purpose and a meaning. But on the other hand, I feel like people can really read into stuff that absolutely has nothing to do with what they're thinking.
well, totally. Yeah, exactly. Well, and that's what's so funny is people talk about, oh, yeah, symbolism. Oh, it's symbolic because of XYZ, ABC. And I think sometimes, right, sometimes I remember people ask the people ask the meaning behind why Xbox color was bright green, right? And the CEO said, "Oh, you know why it's bright green? You know the meaning behind it? It's because when we were pitching it, the only highlighter that we had was bright green. So so we went with it, right? So I mean, so going back to picking the name Palmer, people say, "Oh yeah, Palmer. What? That must have some type of significance to it." And it doesn't. It was just a name that I thought of that you know, right? There's not nothing more. There's some things that are more, right, like the cemetery scene where he's like, "Oh yeah," he drops off Trace. He's like, "Oh, you're working at this hour, right? Or you're working this late?" And he's like, "Yeah, I've got the graveyard shift." You know, and he's dropping him off at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So it's that like that's intentional, obviously. That's right. But not everybody notices that either. They just kind of see that,
Oh, I
that's
thought
really
that was great. I saw the pun that you laid up, and I was appreciating it.
oh, thank you. Thank you. See, the real ones know, I get the pun and observe it. But some of them don't even read it. I didn't want it to be so obvious where some people would have like a close up of Hollywood Forever Cemetery, just put that joke right in your face. You know what I mean? But I mean, it focuses on it, and then they drive away. So, and also it's like a legendary cemetery to to have. And I call this movie the love letter, my love letter to LA.
Well, and if you're, if you're already there, you might as well put in some cool kind of local references.
Totally. Yeah, exactly. And it's a way of filming there without actually filming there because it's really a high security type cemetery. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I noticed, and I guess this is more of a comment and a little bit of like uh, an applaud, is it's actually a really funny movie. Like it's a really dark topic, but it's a really funny movie. So like I noticed, and I think one of the reasons why you and me are, why we get along so well and why we're friends is because we both have kind of a dark sense of humor. Um,
Totally.
but I love I, I love like the silly dude bros get into the back of the car, like the three guys, and they have this whole conversation where they're not even actually whispering to each other. It's
Right.
like they're basically like yelling at each other that this guy's totally the killer, and they're having this debate. And the whole time, Jason is just listening to them, and then he answers at the end. He's like, "I'm not the killer. My name is Justin."
Right. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. You have nothing to worry about. And then he's like, see, we got nothing to worry about.
and
You know.
and like the kind of I don't know if it'd be ironic humor, but like when Tremaine gets in the car, he's like talking about the killer, right? And then he's like, "Oh, he's giving people drugged water," and then he goes, "Oh, well, that's interesting. Would you like a gummy bear?" And like, there's no like, right? It's like this guy has every reason to be suspicious in the world, right? Like, he's literally like in the type of car. He's like, it's this guy that looks like him, like, this whole thing. And instead of being cautious, he's like, hell yeah, I'll take some gummy bears.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And that's the thing is you want to kind of keep the audience guessing because it gets boring if he's just handing out waters and it's like, oh, okay, here's a water, here's a water. Oh, I'll take the water, I won't take the water. Okay. That can get old pretty quickly. And then that's kind of that dark humor where it's like, oh, hell no, I'm not going to drink that water. Or and then also it's kind of funny where the guy's starving, but he wants to go to the grocery store to go buy food so he can go back home so he can cook the food and then go eat it. Right. So it's kind of like,
Yes.
you think that it's like, wouldn't he want to just go to fast food and get get something real quick
Or
when
like
he's at
order
home?
a pizza or something, right? Like,
Right.
and
Yeah.
then he doesn't even eat the food, right? He's like, the drive was like what, 15 minutes away between his apartment and the store. He's like, all right, I'm gonna eat these gummy bears again, the ones that I passed out right after eating them before. And after his friend is literally like, his friend is I like that you made like his buddy in the parking lot like basically a stand-in for the audience, right? Of being like, what are you doing? Why are you gonna go in that? I'll drive you. Right? There's no reason in the world for this guy to get back into that car. And yet he does.
Yeah. Yes. 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 Yeah. He does it. Well, and that's kind of it is that movie thing where people just do dumb things or they don't think too much or they're like, oh yeah, no, don't worry about it. I don't want to put my friend out. I'll just, I'll stick to the plan. He'll just drive me home. He already gave him
Well,
$20.
Well, and it's like it almost kind of reminds me of like, and I was telling you when we kind of chat about it a bit last week is offline is I didn't it took me about 10-ish minutes, so like getting past the intro scene to understand like what the movie was and what you're going for. But like those moments, right, it's like an homage to like the 90s scary movies where it's like, why is everyone gonna break up into like go walk separately away from everyone else? Like, you're gonna leave the door open while you turn your back and
Right.
look
You're
at
going to
some
run
dumb thing
upstairs.
on the
Yeah.
floor.
You're going to run upstairs instead of running outside the front door. Right.
And it's just it was giving me like a lot of comedy, right? Because some of the people that get killed, right, like the pop star, um or the like this influencer, right, she actually does a pretty good job. And I was kind of like, she's not going to drink the water, right? Like, she's basically smart enough to not. And then she does kind of out of pity, right, and like not wanting to rock the boat. But that one's like, okay, I could see that happening. But some of these people, I'm just like, wait a second. So, like, your wife or girlfriend just said that her stomach is in horrible pain from drinking this water, and you're going to go, no, it's not. And I'll show you. I'm going to chug even more of it.
Yes. Yes. I think, yeah, you're referencing the couple in the towards the beginning.
Yes.
Raka Ali. Yes. Yeah, right. And you can tell she's really controlling of him, right? And he's just like the rebel, she's like, don't drink it. And he's like, it's like, no, no, and he's still drinking. I'm fine. I just drink the water, I'm
Well,
fine. See.
and that's funny too, because that is like a thing, right? Is like when you have like you deal with somebody who's really controlling, right? Like at work or maybe in like a personal relationship, and like there's these tiny acts of rebellion that are
Yes.
incredibly petty.
Yes.
But that's like him. It's like instead of him kind of like defending himself or just not putting up with it, he's like, I'm gonna reclaim my manhood by drinking this water.
Right. Yes, I'll show her. It's like, oh, you're gonna you're gonna pee time in 2 minutes. Like, oh, I'm gonna be fine. and and yeah, well, that character, that lady, she was inspired. That whole scene was inspired by a real scene where the guy that played Tremain, the character, my good friend D Sharp, and I were at K Barbecue one time. We were eating K Barbecue. Oh my gosh, I love K Barbecue. I gotta take it to this K Barbecue joint, by the way. Well, that's a whole another separate situation. But
Oh, I'm down.
oh, sweet, awesome, awesome. So there is, so we were eating K Barbecue, and there were two couples on a double date, and one lady was talking the whole time. And this is what she was saying, like, "Oh my god, yeah, honey, I was so nice when we went to that beautiful trip in Fiji, wasn't it, honey? It was so gorgeous. Like the water and everything was just amazing." But anyway, I was out there and I was looking at my ring, and the ring is just so big. Like I have this diamond ring, and my grandmother gave me this ring. And it's like I'm there. She's literally talking like that. She's going on and on about herself and how great she is and the great vacations they're on. And she's got this big diamond ring. And literally everyone else is there, like, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, nice. Like
Listen, I feel personally attacked right now, Tremaine, because I talk incessantly. So
yeah, but I mean, the way she was, you're not,
no,
you don't,
no, I
you
get
don't
you.
talk like that. You're not braggadocious, about stuff. You're not like, oh, I'm so great, blah, blah, X, Y, Z, A, B, C. She was really just bragging. She was just like trying to brag to the other couple in a weird way and brag about how great her vacation was and how big her ring was. She's like, "Oh my god, yeah, it's a big ring." And yeah, it's not a small ring. It is huge. It's a huge ring. It's worth so much money. And it's so crazy though, because I'm always the way I write is I just overhear stuff and then I just rewrite it down. So I don't have to come up with a lot of stuff. I just literally hear conversations people say. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I couldn't come up with something like that in a million years." Right. But
That's funny because I've watched some interviews with Chuck Palahniuk, the guy who made
Fight
who
Club.
wrote Fight Club, and
Yeah.
that's basically what he says too. Is that he basically just he goes to parties, he goes to social events, and he'll just go to like a bar or a cafe, and he'll just strike up random conversations, or he'll kind of like listen in on those people talking around him, and he basically just gets inspired by the weird, quirky, strange things that people talk about and experience in life.
Totally. And you learn, especially human dynamics, if you're in line with someone and they're behind you, and then all of a sudden, like let's say it's a guy in line, and then the lady comes up, and then he'll say, "Oh, they didn't have that," right? They'll talk about something else, or they'll be bickering about something too. You ever like hear an overhear an argument, and you're almost like, "Ooh,
And
like
it's
this
like the
is."
most awkward thing you've ever
Yeah,
experienced.
this is so awkward. Or they're arguing about the dumbest thing, but they're really kind of getting at it over each other in a weird passive aggressive way, and you're just overhearing it, like, oh gosh.
Well,
And
it's like the water bottle thing, right? Is like it it's not about whatever dumb thing they're arguing about that like probably isn't even a real problem. It's like this is just the trigger for the last 2 years that they've argued about big things, and now anything will set that off, right? It's not about, oh honey, it's not the water that's making your stomach ill. I can hold my water for more than 2 minutes, right? It's just like he's like, I want to fight her on anything, and this water thing is low stakes enough to where I can rebel without it exploding, right?
right, without getting substantial consequences, which he probably gets more substantial consequences for other things
I
too.
mean, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, he gets the ultimate one, right? They're the two that get thrown on the train track. So,
Yes, totally. Yeah, but yeah, but she was, and especially with that, and Caitlin O'Connor, by the way, who played it, who she just got engaged to the guy who is now he's the TV host, or that he's a TV host of Deal or No Deal Island. Have you seen
really?
her? Yeah, he's that host. I forget his name, but yeah, she became engaged to him, and yeah, he's a little bit older, she's a little bit younger, but whatever. She's gorgeous, and she was also one of the co-producers of the movie, so she was great. She understood the second she read that script. Jason, the lead actor, is like, oh yeah, Caitlin O'Connor would be great for this role. Why don't I send her the script? And then she wanted to meet the next day, and she goes, I meet up with her, and she's like, oh yeah, I read the script. I'm like which part? And she's like, no, the whole thing. I read it. I loved it. It was great. I'm like, what? And it was like one of those things where with this movie, I say this, and some people don't get the analogy, but I'll try to explain the analogy. This movie became something, when you're making this movie, it became something like it was like Indiana Jones when he's running away from the huge big boulder. Like this movie is the big boulder. It became that huge boulder where anytime I'd send it to someone or if someone asked about something, like it just became bigger and bigger. Like this movie is happening, even if I was alive or not, if something happened to me or if I got abducted by aliens or whatever, this movie was going to get made no matter what. It just became that whole thing. And it was something where everything just clicked and it snowballed and yeah, so it's gotten like a small cult following right now, and I mean it's got all the comments on YouTube are really good. On IMDb, it's gotten slaughtered. By the way, it's gotten completely slaughtered,
I
which is
I did
yeah.
I did look that up, by the way. When uh afterwards I looked up the IMDb page. I also looked you up just because we're friends, IRL, as the kids say. So I want I
Uh-oh.
want to see kind of
You want to
what
see my
kind of.
persona? Like, oh shoot, I actually haven't done any research on this guy.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was funny because I remember weeks ago we were talking about Nosferatu, and you brought up this one IMDb review where it's like 1 out of 5 stars, and then they like
1 out of
basically just
10.
say 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
They say like the absolute worst stuff that they could, and they end it with, "You shouldn't waste your time. You should watch a great movie like Nosferatu." And I read that, I was like, "Oh, that's the meme. Like that's the one he's talking about."
Right? Just because I didn't. So someone watched my review on Nosferatu, and I didn't think it was scary. I didn't think it was really good at all because Nosferatu talk like this, and he's got a big Borat mustache. I mean, dude, you can't. Anyway, but this is how triggered people get with movie opinions. And I'm the one to kind of poke the bear, but I guess I'm suffering on it. But if you guys could help me out tremendously at home, you guys are watching this, the best thing you guys can do actually is to give RideShare an above 7, a 7 or above. I'm not saying if you don't think it's a 7 or above movie, then don't rate it, please, or maybe give it a 6. That might help, but because actual indie filmmakers do get hurt by those review bombs because the way they weigh out these reviews so wackily, like they don't describe how they weigh them either. It's based on a bunch of different various factors that they don't actually disclose. For many reasons, but if you do like the movie, please go to imdb.com and go to RideShare and give it a positive review. Give it a 7 or above. That'd be nice. That would be really nice. Thank you guys.
All right, you reminded me.
Thank you, and do that for Simp too. By the way, Simp. And Cat Town doesn't need the reviews. It's like 9.6 rating, which is good, which is accurate.
People
unbiased.
do love cats. That
Yeah.
does help you out a bit.
People love cats. Although one person I think gave it a 1 out of 10, and I think they were one of the review bombers from Nosferatu. So
how malevolent do you have to be to downvote cats?
I know, right? That's my point. Yeah, they really got triggered by that. But yes.
So I, by the way, just real quick for my next question, I do appreciate that. Just like people who drive ride shares, right? People who work for Uber, is they always ask me, "Can you go on there and give me a 5 star?"
Yes.
No, don't rate me if you're gonna give me a 2 star.
Right? Yeah. If you're gonna give me a 2 star, just don't rate me. Just don't rate me. Don't rate me.
So one of the things that I really liked is, so I watched this movie with my wife, who Tremain also knows, IRL. And so we were watching it together, and Hugh the hobo shows up. And I will admit this. My wife, she goes, is that Tremaine? And I didn't catch it at first. And then it's funny is because like the makeup and like the missing eye and the kind of the angle. At first, I didn't catch it from the front. I did for some weird reason. I recognized you instantly when you did the back of the head shot. So I guess I'm familiar with the back of your head for some reason.
But,
Um,
okay, no, I have nothing to say to that. I wish I had something. Like, okay.
So I guess I just wanted to know, right? Is like so it's I love the author cameos. Like Stephen King is famous for doing this, right? And especially in
Mhm.
the earlier days when he was doing a lot of like mini series and stuff. Um and Stan Lee was also kind of the big famous guy for doing that. What is it like starring as like a cameo in your own film? Is it like fun? Like did you get nervous or?
It was fun. It was really fun, especially that role too, because that is based on a real experience that I had going drive-through at Wendy's in Hollywood, and I was in the drive-through. There's someone in front of me. There's someone behind me. And this guy, this homeless person or a person who's experiencing being unhoused is whatever they say these days. But a homeless person came up to the window and he had one eye. So he had an open eye socket. So he had a completely empty pink eye socket. And he comes up to the window and I'm like, I'm exactly like Jason. I'm rolling up the window as soon as he's walking up to me. And I'm locking it too, like locking it. And then he's knocking on the window, knocking on the window, like,
On your car window?
yeah, on my car window. And I'm like, gosh damn it, and I roll down the window and I roll it down just a tiny crack, because I don't want to, and I look at him and he's just like, and I want to say, oh my gosh. And I can't go anywhere. There's a car behind me. There's a car in front of me. I can't go anywhere. I'm a sitting duck. I can't do anything. And he's like looking at me, staring at me the longest time with his one eye and his other eye socket wide open. And he's just like, you got a quarter. I'm like, gosh, and then he ended up being fine, and I'm like desperately looking in my car. I'm like, quarter. I gotta have a freaking quarter here somewhere. I'm like jumbling the things, I don't have a freaking quarter. Like the one time I don't have any change in my freaking car is this time, and I'm like, oh shit, I got a dollar bill. I got a dollar. I'm like, I got a dollar. Is a dollar okay? And he did the same exact thing where I don't know if you noticed, just some subtle things where when he grabs a dollar, he like touches his hand, Jason's hand too. And
Yeah.
Jason's grossed out by this homeless man touching him. I feel bad because that was me. That was exactly me. Because he's like grabbed my hand to grab the dollar, which is always weird. It's like,
Like you guys were holding hands for a minute.
yeah, almost. Yeah, almost. But anyway, but then he's like, oh, thank you. God bless. So he ended up being pretty nice. You're a nice guy. But then it made me think like, okay, wow, we are sitting ducks in the drive-thru. You really are, and it's genius on his part. If you're a homeless person, just go to the drive-thru. Go to any drive-thru, and then there's
Captive audience.
You got a captive audience. They're like sitting ducks right there.
And I can tell you, having worked McDonald's as my first official job, no one cares.
Really?
Nobody from the fast food joint is going to go out there and help you. They're like, whatever, we're in here. If you want food, well, I mean, you ain't got nowhere to go, but.
Right. So if they're bothering the patrons, like, well, sorry guys, you guys are, we can't do anything about that.
If you want help, you might need to go to like In-N-Out because they actually have people out there that can shoo someone away.
Yeah. Go and get.
So I had one question, and I asked you this when we were chit chatting a bit. But can you kind of, if you want to kind of explain who the woman was that's like in that room that Jason goes to, and then he ends up choking out.
Okay.
Because
Yes.
I didn't quite know who that was, and I had my theory that she was a
Well,
prostitute.
okay. Okay. Yeah. So that that theory could be correct in your world,
My
right?
head
In
canon.
your head. Yeah. Well, it's always like with certain with certain movies with people's opens, it could be open to interpretation, but the way it was written was that it was Jason's. So spoiler alert, guys, if you guys haven't seen Rideshare, please go see Rideshare first, but we're going to talk
Yeah,
then
go
from
see it. It is it's a fun movie.
Thank you. It's on our YouTube channel. It's free to watch, and I do get paid for you to watch it because there are ads. So click on the ads and stuff. Anyway, it's also on Tubi TV, Amazon Prime. But yeah, spoiler alert. But if you have seen it, you'll get some inside baseball here. So originally, so Jason, the whole night he kills these people and he sets up his twin brother for murder. His brother doesn't know that they're twins, right? So that's something that, okay, I guess spoiler for the sequel. The sequel, we'll get into that a little bit more. But the brother doesn't know that he has a twin brother. But the
He
one,
doesn't know.
right, he doesn't know. So yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
I thought he just kind of like knew his brother was like a murderous, psychopathic asshole.
No, because then that would be too obvious, right? That'd be too obvious because he would just pin his brother, and that's
Yeah,
how
true.
he wouldn't be
Fair
able to get
enough.
away with it. Yeah, and there's been times where there's been twins separated at birth, or one commits the crime, the other one does the time, right? And so yeah, he set up his brother because he finds out his brother's cheating on his wife with this other lady of the night, and she could be a lady of the night, or she could just be a side
A bit of a floozy.
floozy, yeah. And so he decides to insert himself into that situation, pun intended, I guess. Terrible. That's horrible. That's horrible.
No, that
But
was great. Keep them
thank
coming.
you. Yeah. And that's another thing though with this character as well. He's middle aged, like mid 40s, very overweight, doesn't have a lot of female attention probably, and he kind of had this guaranteed deal set up, and he kind of decided to tie up loose ends. So there's a very subtle line that the lady says. She goes, I didn't know you had tattoos, right? Which is very subtle because
Very
the
subtle.
the brother does not have tattoos and he has tattoos. So that's kind of that's how she was like, wait a second. All of a sudden he's got these tattoos on his side, right? On his arms. And it would be something where like, oh, I didn't realize you had tattoos. Oh, whatever. So yeah.
That's interesting. See, and that the funny way is you basically described why I thought she was a prostitute because because he's, let's just put it this way, and I mean absolutely being chubby myself, absolutely no shade to the actor, but the character Jason, not only is he like, he's a little bit chubby, but also he like that deadpan is like super creepy, and I don't know anything in the world that will make a woman be more repelled than like hyper creepy murder vibes. Right?
Right.
Like it's like a built-in intuition amongst most women that it's like, oh, this dude is setting off not a red flag. This is like a million red flags. And so I figured like she probably was not a free company.
Right. Yeah, well, that makes sense. That totally makes sense. And by the way, guys, if you guys want to pick up the official movie poster of Rideshare, you can. It's only $16.62. You can get a 16 by 24 or even a bigger one than that. So follow that link. I want to make sure that this actually works too. Follow that link and get your Rideshare poster today. Support the channel today and get the Rideshare poster. You can also get the Rideshare official Thriller unisex jersey short sleeve tee. It's a red shirt with the Rideshare poster on it, and it's a really cool thing. You can also get a a coffee cup, coffee mug with the rideshare and simp poster. That helps support the channel. I forgot that they even had all these cool live sale things. So I just have to plug these awesome things. We're getting the Shopify thing going because, we don't make a whole lot on this channel, but the views on movie night have been growing. They've been going up and up and up. So that's been really
That's
cool.
good. Hey,
Yeah.
you know what you need? You need to
What?
have like a poster or maybe like a cup with like an image that's like spoiler alert to people who haven't watched it. The where he's shoving in the hula girl and says aloha bitch.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
would
I do.
buy that for sure.
Okay, okay. All right. Note to self. I'll make a aloha bitch. Dude, people have asked me that too before. I need to just do it. Let me just do it. Aloha bitch. I think I'll do a B star TCH. What do you think? B star TCH.
Yes, I think that'd be
Okay.
classy and it actually
Yeah.
makes it a little funnier. Um
Yeah.
no, for sure. I mean, it's kind of like, it's like just one of those lines, right? Like that's like the line that I remember like off the top of my head when I think about rideshare is like it's kind of like in Terminator 1 she says like get terminated effer, right?
Right, right. Oh, yeah.
That's your get terminated effer for rideshare.
Totally. Totally. Yeah. Well, what's so funny is that I went in with those complete intentions. Like that was my intentions. I want to bring back one-liners. That's my whole that's my goal. Like I need to get these one-liners back for for movies because I feel like one-liners have gone by the wayside or people don't remember lines from movies anymore. I'd always think about anytime I saw a movie that was really memorable. I mean like Jurassic Park or
Life finds a
finds
way.
a way. Yes. Yeah, totally. Exactly. As soon as I say that, you think of a quote right away. So, I want people to think, hey, if they think about rideshare, they think, aloha, bitch. You know, or would you like a gummy bear or, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
yeah, or just like a water. A lot of people, I guess, his Jason or Radman's nieces and nephews have said, hey, uncle, would you like a water? So,
That's
oh,
pretty amazing.
yeah. So, I mean, I like that because that's bringing back an era of movies when people are enjoying movies. You're having a good time at the theater and it plays well. I should do more screenings of Rideshare. I don't know. I've got to set them up again. Maybe do double features type things. But because it played really well in the theater. Of course, it was a warm audience because it was the premiere, but we only had one screening in the theater. And thinking about, I want to make movies for the big screen and have people experiencing it with a lot of other people, and I think a lot of more people would get the audience reaction would be a lot even bigger with that.
Oh yeah. Well, and then it's kind of like a social thing, right? Like that is one thing that not to get too off track, but I think one of the issues that I think that kind of the way that movies are made, maybe this is kind of just rose tinted glasses to the past, right? But like when you're making all kinds of movies all the time and you're not like there's not like that shared kind of thing, right? I guess kind of like YouTube versus like television is like everyone knew Walter Cronkite, but now everybody has their own independent like, oh, I like this YouTuber, and like nobody else has ever heard of them or something.
Right, everything's all segmented versus everyone watching the same thing at
Like
night.
a shared cultural kind of experience.
Yes, yes, yes. Very true. Very true.
All right, so I have two more questions
Okay.
for rideshare.
Okay.
Um, the first question is, who is Charlotte, the person it's dedicated to?
Yes. So Charlotte is my cousin. My cousin Charlotte. So we'd finished filming the movie Rideshare, and I had been working a little bit on editing the movie, but I hadn't made a ton of progress, and we still needed a bit more money from Kickstarter. So I was getting a little bit discouraged, and it was getting to be around July or August, and we had a October deadline for the premiere. It was October, Friday the 13th, October. And so my aunt contacted me saying that my cousin Charlotte was essentially on her deathbed. And she lives in England. So I had enough for a one-way ticket to England, knowing that I'd have a place to crash there or whatever. So as soon as I got the information, I booked a one-way ticket to England. And and then people were like, "Well, Tremain, what about the movie? Are you gonna get the movie done?" I'm like, "Well, hey, I'm gonna bring my hard drive. I don't know. I'll be able to work with it. I know I won't be able to visit her at all hours of the day."
Yeah.
Night. So anyway, so I brought the hard drives of RideShare, and I went to see her, and I saw her, and she was in horrible shape. She looked barely recognizable. It was really sad. And so London has a YouTube space. So they had a YouTube space. I don't know if they still do or not, but they had a YouTube space where you could edit movies with they've got computers there. They've got sets there. You can rent equipment, you can film stuff. And I mainly just needed something, a place to edit this movie. We're editing 6K footage from Red Epic Dragon. So, my laptop couldn't necessarily handle that. And actually, I don't even think I had a laptop at the time. So because I managed a meme, Bad Luck Brian, I don't know if you remember that meme, but I was his manager. I was his meme manager. So he had a YouTube channel.
Wait, really?
Yeah. So I was Bad Luck Brian's manager for a while. That's another story. I'll tell him. But he's a great guy. His real name's Kyle, and he had a YouTube channel that had 50,000 subscribers. So I'm like, hey, can we use your channel to get in? Because my YouTube channel only had like 1,000 at the time. And so, you needed at least 10,000 to get into YouTube Space London. So I went to YouTube Space London, and I'm editing the movie. So I'm editing the movie, and then I turn around, and then there's this girl watching these Logan Paul videos, right? So I'm like,
wow, talk about a blast from the past.
Right, yeah. So she's watching these YouTube, these Logan Paul vlogs, right? And I'm like, okay, so she's watching Logan Paul vlogs. And anyway, later on, hours and hours and hours, it becomes the end of the day. They're like telling us, hey, you guys got to wrap it up or whatever. And I turn around, and she's still watching this Logan Paul video. I'm like, why is she watching Logan Paul all day? And then it just dawned on me. I'm like, oh shit, no, she's not watching his videos. She's editing them. She was editing Logan Paul's videos. She was Logan Paul's editor in England, in London.
Wow.
And she's like, oh yeah, here's the vlog. She showed me this vlog. Really fast paced, well done, well put together edit with graphics, with everything, highly entertaining, engaging, 5 to 7 minute vlog, or whatever it was of that day that he did. And she goes, oh yeah, here's the link. She showed it to me before she posted it. It's like, yeah, I'm about to upload it and about to post it. By the time I got home, it had 1.5 million views.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So before that, though, before I go home, and I'm like, so I'm like, wow, so you're his editor. What's that like? She's like, oh, well, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it gets a ton of views, and I like it's a lot of fun. But what I really want to do is I want to edit feature films. And then she goes, anyway, well, what were you editing? I saw you, whatever you were editing looked really cool. I'm like, well, I'm editing a feature film. And she goes, oh, wow. She's like, well, I've never gotten the chance to edit a feature film. And I'm like, well, do you want one? And she's like, yes, I would love it. I'm like, well, yeah, I definitely need help. I'm like, hey, we're low on budget right now. I'll see if I can get you some money though. But I'm definitely more than willing to because I saw her talent. She's really quick, really efficient. I was getting overwhelmed with editing, plus dealing with my cousin and everything. It was taking a mental toll on me. And yeah, so she ended up being the editor for RideShare. She edited the movie, and I did just a polish of the cut after she did the main like bulk edits of the cut. And so Yeah, so in a way, because the only reason why I got this movie made is because I went to see my cousin while she was on her deathbed, essentially, and then a couple weeks later she passed away, and so I dedicated the movie to her.
Well,
So
I'm sorry to hear about the loss of your cousin. I know that's hard, but that is really sweet of you to honor her in that way. And I just, not to put God's label on it or anything, but I feel like you had a lot of providential fortune when it came to rideshare.
there was again, like what I said. I mean, and I think just me in general. It sounds kind of a little bit crazy, but I do think God put me on this earth to make movies. That's it.
That's your
And
calling.
yeah, and that's my calling. And it might sound crazy, but Charles Schultz said God put him on this earth to write cartoon strips, right?
Well, I
So
mean, I'm a firm believer that God put J.R.R. Tolkien on this earth to write Lord of the Rings for us to enjoy. So,
100%, right? So Charles Schultz, J.R.R. Tolkien,
and
Tremain
Tremain Hayhoe.
Hayhoe, baby, and Hayhoe Studios. No, yeah. So long story long answer long. That's who Charlotte is. But she was awesome. She was like the little sister I never had. I think she was only 24, 25 when she passed away. So
That's that's
yeah,
tragic. I'm sorry to
yeah,
hear that, man.
yeah. Really, really sad. But
But
yeah.
it is, that's one of the things with like loss is trying to find ways to, keep people alive in your heart and in your memory. And she's forever tied to. I know of your cousin Charlotte because of your movie.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And my aunt, and my cousin really liked the dedication. I didn't tell them, but I just kind of kept it simple. And, just I mean, I wouldn't have been able to get it made without her. I really wouldn't have been. And uh, yeah. So anyway,
Well, that's really cool, man. Thanks for sharing.
yeah, you're welcome.
So I have one last question, and I thought it was a pretty fitting question to end with for rideshare. We do have other kind of discussion questions I have more in general, but so what did you want the audience to leave with in terms of ideas, emotions? You know, I know that there's a twist, the infamous twist at the end that I won't spoil. Well, you already spoiled it, I guess. So, uh, but like, what was your vision as you're making this, as you're doing your final edits? What is this you want the audience to leave with?
Well, I'm gonna answer that question with a question. What do you think? What did you take away with it after you saw it?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. It reaffirmed ideas that I already had, which is that LA is a very alienating place and lonely place. That was kind of the main takeaway that I got. I mean, I already know that because I've been to LA, right? It's like, and I haven't even like lived there. I've just visited, a half dozen times in my life, and but it is like it is interesting. Is like the killer is so nihilistic, and he when he's doing this internal monologue about how like basically meaningless everything is. It's like he's driving through these dark streets. Like people are out and about, like when people probably should be like at home in bed, and like it almost reads. You know what it kind of reminds me of? It reminds me a little bit of Catcher in the Rye.
Hmm.
Right, it's like Holden Caulfield is going like on his adventure after his little sister dies, and or is his little brother, I forgot, his little sibling dies, and he like is talking about kind of like a lot of these same nihilistic feelings about how fake everyone is and how everything's BS. And it's just like when he's driving through the streets, Jason just, I get the feeling of being an ant in this giant concrete and steel jungle of basically meaninglessness. I don't know. That's kind of the
Okay.
vibe I got.
Okay, fair enough. That's good. I like that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I want people I- to kind of take away. Well, I think that's a pretty good one. I want people to take away certain different things, and if that's what they take away with, and that's
I
great.
dislike cities, by the way. That's so I have a
Yeah.
previous bias,
Well,
but
and that's why LA was the perfect backdrop, because there's so many people in Los Angeles. There's so many, right? You can, but at the same time, it is a small world there too. I've been to places and I've just randomly ran into people that the handful of people that I know.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and also I want people to think of, hey, think twice next time you get in a car with a stranger, right?
That's a good lesson too,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. Yeah. To
And
live and
don't be
die in
annoying.
LA.
And don't be annoying either.
And don't
'cause
be
you're-
annoying. Yes. And don't be annoying to your Uber driver, your poor Uber driver. Right. But some Uber drivers are crazy though. And that's true. That's true too. So as a passenger, as a driver, or whether whatever position you have with the rideshare industry or taking Ubers at all, just be careful and just be real careful and tell people where you're going, but don't drive drunk, right? Always
Yes.
take an Uber. It's better. And
But don't drink the water.
Yeah, don't drink the water. I wouldn't really drink anything that someone gave me. I just so it's funny, when I was making this movie, someone told me, a friend of mine goes, "Oh, you're putting a virus into the world. You're giving people ideas of how to kill people, right?" I'm like, "Oh man, am I really?" And then
No.
and then other people have gone and told me like, "Oh, I'm so glad I watched your movie, because I don't even think about that type of stuff. Now I'm gonna think twice before I get right." It's like I always said, "Oh, don't take candy from a stranger. Don't get in a car with a stranger." And then now people are doing both, and they're
Oh,
paying
yeah.
to do it.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah, well, and it's just funny because there is so much trust that goes into that. Um, when you with people you don't even really know. Like my wife and I DoorDash stuff, and so I do like they have a policy now. 'Cause I mean, there probably were people that got like sick or something because people mess with their food, and now everything has to be sealed up, and you can tell if it's been tampered with. And
Right, which is a good thing, by the way. Which is a good thing.
yes,
Yeah.
well, there we go. Rideshare.
Rideshare. Well, yes, thank you. Wow, was that all your questions and everything? Did we get through them
Just
all?
yeah, for rideshare, I had some other kind of general topics about kind of like your experience in making movies and stuff, and kind of the future of Hayhoe Studios, baby.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Sweet. Yeah. We can do that. Real quick, I'll
Unless there was
say
something else you wanted to do.
no. That sounds good. Say what's up to Chris. Well, let's talk about LA. How it's lonely there. It makes me think of To Live and Die in LA. I have not seen that movie, Chris. I have not. Now I have homework to do to watch, because it's got Willem Dafoe in it. So of course I got to watch it now.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that either. But Willem Dafoe's he's always great.
Oh yeah. Oh, and it's directed by William Friedkin. Oh my gosh, that's the same director as The Exorcist.
Really?
Yeah.
Now
the movie that I have.
that's on our to do list.
It is, yes. Yes, I'll only watch it with you, Jesse, or Canny.
Close enough. Whatever.
Mhm. Yeah,
So,
exactly.
all right. Well, the first question I had written here, you kind of explained a little bit earlier with how you came up with rideshare, but I guess I'm curious. The fact. So you've made a couple of horror movies, right? Like Rideshare and Simp. I don't know if you categorize Simp as horror, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm sorry. Mea culpa.
It's okay. It's the next one. It's the next one for you to watch.
It is. It is. So, like, I'm just curious. You and I have talked about quite a bit of horror movies because my wife and I spent the month of October watching them, right? And how do you see the horror genre going? Like, how do you think it's going? Do you see any trends you like? Like, is it all a bunch? Do you think it's kind of all a bunch of crap? Like, what are your thoughts on the genre being creating movies in that genre?
What's interesting is I see movies like Terrifier come out, and they're really popular. They do really well. And then 28 years later, the Bone Collector,
Bone,
the
yeah,
Bone something.
Bone
Apparently,
Tower, or something like
yeah, the Bone Show. I don't know. I don't know.
that. Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know about that one,
no,
but
yeah, I don't know about that. No, the way I see it going is everything getting really gory, right?
Mm,
And I don't like that, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of gore. As you could tell in Rideshare, there was zero gore in it. There's zero blood in it.
yeah.
And I guess the only real death scene you can see, I'm trying to think of the one you actually see. You don't really see one unless it's
There's one when the influencer, she drowns. You do see
right.
that.
Oh yeah, what'd you think of that shot, by the way?
Oh, I thought it was really cool. Sorry, there is one more. Your buddy who plays Tremain, you also, I mean, you don't see him die, but you see him get thrown out, basically jump off a bridge while on fire. I guess you can assume what's going to happen from there, but
Yes, right. But we don't see him dead. So will he
sure,
be
maybe he's
back for the
alive.
sequel? He might be back for the sequel. Who
Ooh.
knows? Who knows? The the well, yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that real quick, we'll talk about Spanky's scene. Spanky Valentine, which that is her real name, by the way.
I did see that. I looked
Yeah,
it up on IMDb.
nice. Yeah, so that's her real name. So we had to film an underwater shot. And that's not easy. Obviously, we weren't going to actually go into the ocean and film an underwater shot in February of when we were filming it in Los Angeles. So I asked. I had a friend of mine who lived in Malibu. He's the Lord of the Cello. Shout out to Lord of the Cello. He's an awesome, epic cello player. He plays electric cello and is really awesome. He has a place in Malibu, and I contacted him. I'm like, hey, do you happen to have a heated pool? And he's like, oh yeah, I have a heated pool. So it's like, oh great. So and I'm like, is it okay if we film our movie there? It's like, oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. So we have to film at night. We have to film in a pool, and then the DP shot. Put the lights. I had the lights beaming into the pool, so there was like a cool angelic light beam coming in from this dark pool. He put black Dubatine in the pool.
Yeah, it was
And
really cool.
yeah, no, yeah, it was cool. So, but there was one minor thing when we got there. I'm like, oh yeah, your pool's heated, right? I said, yeah, it is. And we feel the pool and it's ice cold. And he goes, oh wait, did you want me to heat it? And I go, yes. That's why it's like, yes. That's why
That's
I asked.
the implication
That's
of
why
asking
I
if it
asked
can't be
you
heated.
for a heated pool. If you had a heated pool, that's why I asked you. And it's hard. I can't get too mad because he's letting us film there for free, right? So it's right. So I'm like, which also I learned another producing part where don't assume that they really know, right? Because now I know I would have to say, will it be okay? He's like, oh yeah, that's impossible because it takes 2 or 3 days to actually heat. So we can't just heat it up right now. I mean, you would have had to give me a heads up and I would have started heating it 2 or 3 days ago.
And you're like, well, I kind of did, didn't I?
Yes, I did weeks ago, months ago, whatever. And you're right. So anyway, so poor Spanky. So it's freezing cold. And luckily they had a hot tub there though too. So what she did was she'd go in the hot tub, which that might even be worse. It's like you go in the hot tub and then she'd jump in the ice cold water. We do a take. And then she'd go back to the hot tub, warm up, and then come back, do another take. But she was actually really trooper. She was a good trooper because she would do 2 or 3 takes at a time. Jump in. We had to get the camera shot right. We had to get everything right. And so it took, I think, 6, 7, 8 takes, something like that, for it to be right. And the final shot is actually a reverse shot. So it worked better when she was rising up. Right? We had the perfect shot while she was rising up. So we reversed it, and then it looks like she's sinking down. So,
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't even notice that.
yeah, if you look up like the bubbles, you'll kind of see a little bit of the bubbles going the other way, but most people don't notice that. So
That's pretty cool. So so I'm guessing you're not into the to the gore trend then.
No, I'm not into the gore trend at all. I'm not a big fan of gore. I don't really, some blood is fine, or like a stabbing, or like that's fine. But when it's useless or senseless violence, I'm not a big fan of it. How about
Well,
you?
I feel like, well, here's the thing. So I didn't really watch a lot of scary movies when I was younger because my folks weren't into it.
Mhm.
Although um, my parents did allow me to watch Event Horizon with what's his name, the guy from Jurassic Park, which by the way is a horrifying movie for a 7 year old. But it's just a little portal to hell action. But so I didn't really watch a lot of horror until I was an adult. And I feel like by the time, so like I've seen everything. Like I've caught up in the past, I've been with my wife for about 10 years, and I've watched everything from like The Exorcist to Bye Bye Man to the,
Bye bye, man.
yes.
Don't say it.
S-
Don't say it. Don't think it. Don't
te-
say it. Don't think it.
Terrible. I don't know. How do
Horrible
you feel
movie.
about
Wait,
it?
by the way,
Terrible movie.
hello, Brad Man, the lead in Rideshare is in the comments. He's watching. What's up, Brad Man?
Hey Brad, you did a great job by the way. I was talking earlier about I love your deadpan. Uh Beautiful job. But anyway, so I've seen it all, right? And one of the things that I've noticed is when you watch things like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or like kind of those older slasher films, right? It's like maybe it's just because I like all the grandparents from back in the 90s were correct, and like video games just kind of wiped away my sensitivity to violence and gore, right? But it's just you know it's just not that interesting to me. Like I like the best kind of horror movies are like kind of almost like thriller horror things like Shutter Island, right? Where you're like, is he crazy, or is this really a like uh mid-century German brainwashing island? Like that's the kind of thing that I like. That's because that's the stuff that'll really scare you.
Shutter Island. That movie didn't scare me at all. I predicted it too, as well, pretty quickly. But I know a lot of people do like it, and Leo is good with it. But yeah, Brad, man, hey, I just sent out the link. If you want to join, come up and say hi. That would be awesome.
Or like
We'd have a special guest of Rideshare, which we've just been talking about. Um,
Smile. That's a really, now that one does
oh
have some
right,
gore in it, but
yeah.
okay, well that's enough of that. Um but
Yeah,
like
we
those
talked about
are,
that. If you guys didn't hear, we talked about that at Smile in the last couple episodes, or 2 episodes ago, I think.
yeah, I think about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Mhm.
No, like so, and I wonder. The hard part is like those. I think that kind of movie, I think takes a lot of skill to make well, and I just don't know if a lot of writers have and directors have that level of skill.
Well, yeah, especially yeah, something like Smile, where it's kind of fun. It's like a Scream, or it's an urban legend type thing, or I Know What You Did Last Summer, where
Yeah.
it's not a realistic type movie, but you're along for the ride.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of other examples, or The Ring, for example. The Ring was, when that came out, it was really scary. I thought it was really
Or
spooky.
another good one is have you seen It Follows?
Yes, yes, I loved that one. That was
That's a
great.
great movie.
I like that one a lot. It's just such a simple concept of a clown, scary clown following you, or slowly, just walking very
Just
slowly.
and it's like it could be anyone. And then like there, I love that movie because there's that part of it where it's like she's just on. So I watched it again recently, last October with my wife,
Mhm.
and we there was she was watching a little bit more carefully, and there's scenes where they're like at the school and like it is following her, but it's subtle to where you don't catch it unless you happen to catch it or you're looking for it. Um, but it's just kind of creepy, right? Because like she's just on the school campus, and then like it's always walking at her.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's always and it is subtle in the background. It comes at you. Oh, another movie, the Nicolas Cage one, where he played a very, very creepy character. What am I thinking? I'm blanking on
Is it hairy legs or
long
long
legs.
legs? Long
Yes.
legs.
Yeah, hairy legs.
I mean,
Speaking of
that's
hairy
effectively the same thing, right?
yes, yes, yes. Uh I'm just messaging Brad, man. The yeah, Long Legs. That is a really good movie. That was terrifying. But there's a lot of clips. If you look at the behind the scenes, there's a ton of you see uh the devil essentially in the background in a lot of
Really?
scenes. Yeah, yeah. And and then when you rewatch it or once you see those parts pointed out, it is terrifying because they'll be in the, like you can't notice unless you're really looking and there'll be a shadow or little reflection in the background. Yeah, it's terrifying. It's terrifying. Um
Yeah, that's cool.
but
So I guess I'm curious. I know that you have a project coming up that is not a horror movie. Um, how do you kind of see yourself going in the future? Do you think you might stick, generally speaking, to horror? Do you think you might branch out away from it? Like,
well, I think well, I made a Bigfoot movie, my first big Bigfoot movie, which is technically is a redneck romper stomper. So it's it's pretty much just.
what? What did you say? You have a romper stomper
It's a
Bigfoot movie?
it's a redneck romper stomper. It's a movie we made for the price of going camping, essentially, and a costume on Amazon. Um, we won't specify what that costume is, but right, we went out looking for Bigfoot, made a movie. So yeah, there's stuff like that with straight comedy. I definitely I'll do a lot more comedies, I think, and documentaries as well. And but yeah, I'll go back to horror thrillers at times. But this newest one, we won't talk too much about it, but just to give someone a little bit of hints, it's a more of a dramedy. It's more of a serious subject, but there's still humor in it. So even if it's something like I can never do straight drama because I hate that. I never feel the actual drama. Everything's so dramatic at all times, or sad or depressing. All right. But yeah, eventually, I mean, I want to make I always want to challenge yourself. I want to challenge myself to do something different, and this one's a little bit different. It's a lot more serious of a subject, even though killing is serious too in horror movies. But then I'll probably go back to a thriller horror movie as well, like general escapism.
Like potential sequel to Rideshare?
Potentially, yes, I might potentially have the 2 and 3 mapped out already.
So you mentioned that might be something we talk about earlier. Do you want
Mhm.
to chat about it all?
Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, we the second one would pick up it would have to be a couple years after the events of the first one, but yeah, that's about it. That's about all I'm gonna really say. Yeah, it's all about
Okay.
all I'm gonna say. But yeah, no, I mean, but I will say, like Rideshare was made for sequels. Like it is made to have sequels. It is made as a
Well,
franchise. It is made for that.
well, he's still out in large, right? Brad's
Exactly.
character
Yes.
Jason, he's still
It,
out and about.
he's still out at large. He's at large and in charge, like this shirt. But yeah, this is the actual shirt that we filmed the movie in. Still have it.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it
cool.
took you a while to notice. Yes. Yeah. So yes, we found this shirt on Amazon. Yeah, just I don't know. You need I for whatever reason I get color schemes. I get color schemes in with the movies. And with Rideshare, it was red and black. I'm like, just had to be red and black because So I wanted the main character to have this. And then for simp, it's pink and gold essentially. So if you look at the letters, and the pink is basically based on her outfit. She's got the pink top and then gold, and then yeah. So those color schemes color schemes are important, I think, when it comes to branding a movie. Or
Oh yeah. Well, it's all part of it. You have to make it striking and thematic.
exactly, and you have to be able to explain it pretty quickly. You want people to get the gist of it right away, and all that stuff. Um, which, by the way, okay, so it's just a segue. So there's a couple things that happened. So Masters of the Universe movie trailer came out. Have you seen it yet?
I have not. Masters of
It,
the Universe? What's that about?
yeah, so that's He-Man. It's the He-Man movie.
Oh,
Yeah, it's He-Man and what's his name? Skeletor. So
is
Jared,
it a live
Jared,
action?
yeah, it's live action, and Jared Leto is Skeletor.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh?
and remember, Skeletor.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Yeah. So this is pretty. Yeah. So that's pretty interesting. I think it's pretty interesting.
No, it should be that. That's kind of funny because He-Man is like that's pretty. That's pretty old. Like it's still kept alive in memes and stuff, but that's kind of interesting that they're bringing back He-Man.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, of course they are. It you know.
They need something to try and make money on.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, it has a fan base. It's built in, and you know, I'm trying to share. Oh yeah, share. Let me share this real quick. Oh yeah, see this?
Okay.
So there's Jared Leto right there.
Huh.
So I mean, I don't think yeah, he's just a skull essentially. But
Yeah. I don't think that I don't know if you can put enough makeup on to make that bottom picture come alive, but I don't know. They managed to make Thanos look pretty purple and alien with
Thanos was
makeup.
probably the worst. That was not makeup. That's all CGI.
It is?
Yes. Are you kidding
Oh.
me? It's like some of the worst CGI ever.
I
Are you
thought that
joking?
no, I guess I'm I don't know. Yeah, that makes sense.
Dude, it is literally the worst CGI I've ever seen. And it's a really crappy movie that's overrated.
What next you're gonna tell me that Jar Jar Binks is CGI.
Now he's definitely real, obviously.
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks. I mean, obviously Jar Jar Binks is real.
Yeah, you're right. That's true. I forgot you can't really. I don't know. That is kind of sad. I wish that
I always think about this: the Homer Simpson as Thanos. It's the same thing, dude. It's this thing. It's the dumbest, literally the dumbest super villain I've ever heard in any superhero movie. Speaking about what we were talking about earlier, like the villain makes the movie, right?
Yes.
This is why those movies suck, because villain is the dumbest super villain ever, right? They're like, oh, Thanos, what happened to the stones, or how did you destroy the stones? And then he's like, I used the stones to destroy the stones. It's like, dude, this is so stupid.
I do love it. Did make a great meme though, because that meme does pop over sometimes. I'll find an example, send to you, but
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
no, well, and it's kind of funny. Is like, you know, so like Darth Vader, right? And I know we always end up somehow talking about Star Wars by the end of the night. But like Darth Vader, you're like, all right, the motivation is he wants to get whatever rebel plans. So is he gonna come up with this convoluted scheme to, I don't know, trick someone in it? No, he's like, yeah, we're gonna arrest you, and then we're gonna torture you, and you're gonna give us the plans. and then we're gonna blow up your home if you don't, and we'll do it anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But like with Thanos, it's like, wait a second, wait 1 second. So you're gonna snap and kill half of everything? Couldn't
It
you
is so
snap?
stupid. Snapping your
Couldn't,
fingers. That is so
couldn't
dumb.
couldn't you snap and just double all of the resources?
Right.
And then everyone would be like, "Oh, well, maybe Thanos isn't such a terrible guy. Maybe we don't have to team up to try and destroy him."
Right. So yeah, he's this environmentalist. Or we need to save energy to save the planet. So I'm just gonna make half the people disappear. It's like, wow. I'm so it's so dumb. But what's really funny is that when you see James Gunn talk about it, he's like, hey, he's like, dude, you know how I came up with the stones? He's like, I came up with it in 5 minutes, dude. He brags about how stupid his idea was and how he came up with it in 5 minutes. Which it is.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. It is so dumb. People are like, "Oh, the Infinity Stones." Like, I'm like, shut up, you idiots.
Well,
Anyway,
well, and it's like I don't know. So like as you know, I'm trying to I'm in the process of writing the kind of world building for a book right now.
yes,
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with. In fact, all the great works of fiction, not all. Okay, a lot of the great works of fantasy have things like magical items that do stuff and like have magical weapons and stuff. But the thing is like the good stories tie those things to moments of character growth or to theme like important plot themes or something, right? So like a good example is this. Have you read or watched Harry Potter?
of course.
Okay. I know you're a nerd, so I figured as much, but I just
Oh,
wanted to check.
thanks. Thank you.
Um sorry, 1 sec. So in the seventh book they have like they have the three Deathly Hollows, right? The ring with the ghosts, and they have the Elder Wand, it's super powerful, and then they have the right. But like each of those items, they're not just knickknacks to be like, look at what this can do. Like all of them are like the Elder Wand is super powerful, but because it's like driving a nice car through like the hood, right? It's like, yeah, you have a nice car until somebody comes and carjacks you, right? So it's like the Elder Wand is not just like, and now Harry's got the Elder Wand and he can shoot off multi lasers, and it's like no, the whole point of the Elder Wand is that there it is basically by acquiring this, you're basically putting a target on your back because it's the Elder Wand is just ambition, right,
Right.
and power.
Right.
And like that's how you tie like a gadget to like something deeper than just the gadget, right? Like to quote George Lucas, is that the whole point of like special effects, right, is to facilitate a story. It's not just for special effects.
Right. Yeah. It's to enhance the story, to make it better, to be able to tell a story in a different way that you wouldn't be able to tell otherwise. And
Exactly.
yeah, and it's not supposed to replace the story. And that's the problem going back to Marvel, is that they just use the effects thinking that, oh, people are going to love this big shiny object. Oh, let's just put a bunch of CGI characters at the very end, have them all shoot each other and kill each other. And makes a great climax for a movie. It's dumb. It is so stupid because it's just you forget it as soon as you watch it because they're all
Oh
the
yeah.
same.
Right. Well, and that actually is funny because like if I want to just turn my brain off, like one okay, so I like I like Chris Hemsworth as an actor. I think he's charming. He seems like a pretty decent, cool guy, and like he plays
Yeah.
a good warrior kind of guy. But like the first two Thor movies for me were insufferable.
Okay.
So boring. And then the third one, I think the third one is Ragnarok, and that one is interesting, but I almost entirely forget everything except for the opening scene.
Dude, Ragnarok is probably one of the worst movies I had seen. It was so bad. I mean, I like Jeff Goldblum in it, but that's about
Oh, of
it.
course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then that's another hack. Tika YTT, who goes, "Oh, he said, oh yeah, my whole idea was have Thor, and then a Thor movie, and then have Led Zeppelin play, and that's the movie." And then
Yeah.
he's like, and then they went for it. They went for it at Marvel. It's like, God, dude, like that was his pitch. Yeah, like that was his pitch for the thriller. Or it's like, dun, 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 dun. What's that called? Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
All right. He's like, oh, I just thought it'd be cool. Thor riding on a rainbow and the
And,
Led
and like,
Zeppelin playing.
don't get me wrong. Like there are moments in movies where there are scenes where it's acceptable that, well, like this thing just seems like it would be cool, right? Like that's fine. Like people, like I like cool stuff, but
Yeah.
you need to have something more than just like. Here's a good example. Have you ever seen the movie Baby Driver?
Yes. Yes.
Baby Driver is 100% like a
Style.
cool guy movie, right? Like that's
Hmm.
just, he plays the music, he does like the scenes adjacent to the music, and he drives cars fast. There's like some crime element and some intrigue, but it's all surface level. But that's okay cuz like it looks cool and it's played well. But like it's just, you can't base like a trilogy off of Baby Driver.
Right. Right. Well, and that's a movie where, hey, it's flashy, it's kind of candy. You get the candy there, and then as soon as it's done, you just kind of forget what just happened. That was kind of what happened with me when I watched it. I'm like, oh yeah, cool shots, cool car stunts and stuff. But as soon as it's done, I forgot. Like
Of
I forgot.
course.
I'm not gonna remember it. I just remember him in his headphones driving the car, and so
Well,
I
it's
don't.
like, like Lord of the Rings, for anyone watching who doesn't hasn't picked up on this, I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan, and I'm a huge Tolkien nerd. Lord of the Rings is like, it is drawn from like Northern European myth and like Catholic philosophy and stuff, right? So like, and Tolkien literally created a bunch of languages and like a realistic, well, within the realm of fantasy, a realistic sort of history that is probably going to go down in in Western canon of literature, and by extension the movies, right? Um, just like Dante's Divine Comedy has, right?
I thought you were gonna say
No,
Dante's Peak. Just like
no,
Dante's just like
no,
Dante's
no.
Peak. When they throw the grandma, when the grandma the grandma's
Ah,
legs are melted. That was
this
horrible.
guy.
It's
No,
gonna go
but
down
like,
in history just like Dante's Peak.
but
Anyway.
Baby Driver is not going to be that. Like Baby Driver will be like
No.
it'll be like I mean, it'll always be kind of cool, right? Like if you watch it, you'll be like, oh, this is cool, little fast car music action for the next hour and a half, and then you move on with your life.
Right. Yeah. It's like if I was gonna see a fast car or a movie that had fast small cars or car chase scenes, I'd watch The Italian Job or something.
Yeah, that's a good
Like
one.
yeah, that's something that you're gonna remember. I mean, the heist movie or yeah, I mean, it's all style, no substance. That's why Zack Snyder, I never, I was one of the few people in high school when 300 came out, and all the girls like, oh my god, this movie's so amazing. Then all the guys like, oh, this movie's so badass. It is so cool. Okay, yes, this is Sparta, him kicking the guy down the well. That is iconic. I will give it that. But if have you watched it lately, or just watched
No,
just watch any
well,
scene? It has not aged well at all. And at the time, I'm like, dude, you got a bunch of guys that are not with like British accents, uh, like as the
well,
300 and
to be fair, I don't know what it is. I don't. I can't figure out, because I love to watch like historical history movies, and like,
yeah, but
well,
that was not history. That was
no,
it was
I use the term very loosely. Or like historical dramas, and British people always play Romans. I don't know why. There's never an Italian that plays a Roman. It's always British people.
Right.
very strange.
Yeah, yeah. No, it is. It is very strange. It is very strange. So I'm just like, okay, I mean, yeah, there's some cool parts in it, but hey, he's had a great career based on style only and zero substance. I mean, that's literally every single one of his movies. It looks cool. It looks really amazing. A lot of his movies, they've got really great shots and everything, but I personally think that he's been a bit more exposed as of late because people are finally now 20 years later catching on. Oh, wait a second, maybe he doesn't have much substance to his movies.
What are
And
you saying that he lied to me and that there wasn't literal like ogre men at the Battle of Thermopylae?
dude, I know, man. I'm sorry. Spoiler alert, buddy. I'm sorry.
Well,
It's
and it is funny. So, like, another thing about me is I love history. Like, I read and like watch like a lot of documentaries and stuff about history, and it is funny because there is that line right where King Leonidas goes, "What are you?" And he's like, "I'm a fishmonger, or I'm a baker," right? And he's like, "Spartans, what do we do?" And they go, "War." And the funny thing is like if you know the actual history, it's like, yeah, but Sparta kind of, pardon my French, kind of went out like a bitch in history.
right. Yeah, yeah, that makes
And you're
sense.
like, oh, actually, I guess it takes more to make a long lasting, functioning society than a bunch of, I guess, roided up, uh,
Roided up
eight pack
Brits,
dudes. I don't know, British.
Scots, and
Yeah.
Brits.
I'm gonna, you know this better than me, right? But like, you want a real tough Scotsman. It's not some dude with like a spray on tan with an eight pack. It's gonna be some like 45-year-old Scottish dude with a full beard and a beer gut, but he could take
Red
down a
beard.
lion in a
Yes.
red beard.
Yes, absolutely. A big red beard. Like Gimli or something. Right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Like Gimli. Yeah. Now that's dude, now that actor, we can just talk about that actor for a minute. I mean, how legendary is that actor?
Oh
Uh
yeah.
yeah, I mean he's in Lord of the Rings, he's in Indiana Jones, John Rhys Davies. He is a phenomenal actor. And yeah, so, I mean,
He is, isn't he? I
yes.
honestly I haven't really like looked much into his career, but he's the guy who tells Indy about what's it called about the
They
Ark of the
named the
Covenant.
dog Indy. They're like, they named the dog Indy.
Oh yeah, that
Doesn't he
was
say
great.
that? Yeah. Dude, yeah, Gimli. I mean, gosh, talk about, yeah, I mean, legendary actors. John Rhys Davies. Like, maybe not everybody knows his name, but you definitely know his face.
Oh yeah, yep. Indiana Jones franchise, Lord of the Rings, and Salah are his biggest ones. So yeah, no, he's great. What is funny is like Lord of the Rings really it has such a star cast.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, and so does Harry Potter. So does Harry, going back to Harry Potter.
Oh yeah. I forgot. We were talking about the other day. I forgot his name, but the actor who plays Snape and is also um, in what's it called, Die Hard.
Oh, yeah. Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman, and because he did a great job, man.
Oh, he
Great,
was
he's a great actor.
Mr. Potter, Mr. Potter. It's like, he's, yeah, no, he was really good. And then Snape is such a complex character. Speaking about gray areas in life, I mean, this is why Harry Potter works so well. Is that all the characters have a lot of different layers. Like Snape
Yes,
actually isn't a bad guy. He actually isn't bad. He does a lot of things that you're questioning, making him think that, oh yeah, this guy is bad. But then the more you actually learn about him, he's a really complex character, and the reasons why he does what he does makes a lot more sense.
yes, and I do like too is I think I think that in stories and I wonder if this is like a maybe like an ambition issue, but like in a lot of stories is a lot of villains and a lot of characters don't act like real humans. They kind of act as like avatars for grand things, right? But like Snape's whole thing is that because he was a Death Eater, and then he turned because not because he was like, I have found the light and justice. No, it was like, oh, he's gonna kill my childhood best friend and the woman I love, even though she's not my wife. Which, speaking of that poster behind you, is maybe a little simpish, but it's a motivation that like that's just like a real motivation. It's not that people don't fight or believe in things bigger than their personal relations, but a lot of times what you see is like people get motivated by something very personal and then they kind of use a justification of something bigger than that. And you don't see that in a lot of writing.
Right. Yeah. No, you don't. You don't always see it in a lot of writing. It's more. I don't know. I think it takes a more complex writer to write these characters. A lot of writing that is a lot of these one dimensional type characters that right you just kind of get who they are right away, and then you
Their
don't.
bad guy, their quirky
Right.
friend,
Yeah.
their love
Oh,
interest.
yeah. He's the quirky friend. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Every character is more complex than that. And that's why with everything, going back to rideshare, is that is, yeah, right. Not, it's all roads lead back to rideshare, pun intended. But the, going like writing a character, if someone's so black and white, so bad and or so good, and that's why I don't like Superman, because he's the perfect character. Right, he could do no wrong. He's handsome, he's invincible, he's got laser vision, he can fly. Right, his only thing is a space rock that kills him. Oh no, or
Although
makes
I
him
did
do.
send you that meme that made the point that we also are allergic to space rocks. It's just they're uranium. I saw that and I was like, all right, Tremaine needs to see this. No, but it is true though, right? Is like if you compare and I don't really like these movies. I think that DC has been a big flop for the most part. Except for I liked the original Wonder Woman, not originally the old one, but like the one with what's her name, the Israeli
Gal
actress
Gadot.
Gal Gadot. Yes,
Yeah.
but it is interesting, right? Because there's those couple of those movies of like Batman versus Superman, but as a character, I really do think Batman is interesting because so like there's like these comics, right, where it's like Superman but he's evil. And you're like,
Right. Right.
but it doesn't even make any sense, right? You're just like, well, but that's just not Superman, right? Like that's some other guy that looks like him, but like Batman, there's a series where because Batman has one rule, right? And it seems kind of like a silly rule because it's not really probably realistic, but he doesn't kill. That's his rule.
Right.
And there's an
Which going back to Zack
alternative.
Snyder, doesn't he
Yeah.
kill a bunch of people when Zack Snyder's Batman? Don't they kill
Yes.
people?
Well,
Yeah, right.
well, that's part of the reason why I don't like
Yeah,
those movies.
right.
Um, but like there is a comic book series where Batman, it's like an alternative universe version of Batman where he breaks his rule once and then that leads him to continue to break it and he basically ends up becoming like a dark version of himself. And you're like, that's realistic because once you break the rule, then you're like, well, it's just kind of what I think needs to happen is the new rule.
Well, yeah, well, and that I do like something like that. If there's someone, if Superman starts going down a different path, well, this is why I like The Boys, or I liked the first 2 or 3 seasons of The Boys was pretty good. But they have
Mhm.
Homelander, who's essentially Superman, but if he was really Superman in America and today, right, where
Yeah.
he would use his powers for all of the bad, he's like the most corrupt superhero, but in the face, he's great, he's handsome or whatever, but he's also spiteful. He's vengeful. He'll kill whoever, but offline, right? And he'll be able to cover his tracks and make a bunch
Yeah.
of money. And this is kind of like this is why I like The Boys, because it shows how what if Superman was corrupt, right? What if he was what if he could be bought and sold by someone else, right? That's a very fascinating and interesting concept, instead of him being just this perfect human being who has no flaws and is great, right?
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, and it's in I think and that's one reason why I really like, speaking of Batman, right, is the Christopher Nolan Batman movies, especially the one with Heath Ledger as
Dark Knight.
Joker.
Yeah. Dark
Yes.
Knight.
The Dark Knight trilogy. And it's because like it's an interesting thing, right? Because he doesn't kill anyone in that one, but he does set up like that cell phone spy network, which nowadays we just call the NSA.
Yeah.
And
Right.
and and like the whole thing is like he's basically completely destroying any semblance of privacy. And like there's that whole thing of like, if he's going to use this, and he could use it in the future, but he ends up destroying it because he doesn't want to become corrupted with that kind of power.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And he knows what that type of power can do, and it
Yes.
is almost like part of who Batman is. Which, by the way, what if Batman was broke as a as, as
That's a
would
good
it work?
question.
It would be like he'd have to be MacGyver or something. He'd have to come up with a bomb with a paper clip and a and a microwave, right? Like, right. He'd
Well,
have,
so that's funny, by the way. So there's this video game where you play as like all these different action heroes from the 80s, like 80 movies. And
yes.
you can play as, but they all have like, it's all like every name is a pun. So there's MacGyver Bro. And you're basically one of your weapons is you stuff a turkey with a giant piece of dynamite, and that's like
What?
it's like I've jerry rigged this turkey with a dynamite, and that's how I'm gonna. That's a. But anyway, yeah,
uh,
I don't know. I think like asking what if Superman, as he's written, right, was evil doesn't make any sense. I guess it's kind of like the same thing as what if Batman was poor? Like
right. Yeah,
he just wouldn't be
exactly.
Batman.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd be poor, man.
Be working it out at a grocery outlet or something.
Batman on a budget.
Batman on a budget. He's like, darn, I could have stopped that car full of gangsters with a bat spike throwing star, but I only have 3 and I can't afford any more until next month's paycheck.
Right. Yeah. Or he's like, oh yeah, I would have chased him with the Batmobile, but I'm out of gas and I can't get gas yet till next paycheck. Or he's like,
I forgot my bag of bat quarters to pay for gas.
right. Oh, Batman needs to do his laundry. I don't have enough quarters to pay the laundromat.
That's like a whole spoof thing when it happened. Like he dates Catwoman so that she could burglarize houses to pay their rent or something.
That would be funny. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like he's what do they call it? Oh my gosh. You ever watch those? It's Forensic Files or Unsolved Mysteries when they say, what do they say? Oh, the Casanova, the Casanova con man, right? It's like the guy. It's like the guys who change their name. They go to a small town and they find a little bit older lady who's a widow who's really rich and well off, and next thing you know, they've got a business idea. Oh yeah, I've got a business idea. I just need a small investment of $50,000 or $100,000, and then they pay him all this money. Then next thing you know, he skips town and he's never to be seen of again. Or they get married within a month, right? They're like, oh yeah, Bruce gets married to old Hildy the widow. who is the inheritance of her husband's fortune, who died. Oh my god.
Yep, exactly.
And then he becomes Batman and becomes vigilante. It's like, wait.
Well, Bruce had to get his wealth back somehow.
Well, it is all funny. I mean, any and all superheroes, when you think about it. When you think about Spider-Man, okay, think about Spider-Man. Think about Spider-Man in Loma Rica or in Marysville. Or like, what can he do? He can't do anything. He can't go who are you going to try to swing spider web on?
There's some big trees here and there.
Yeah, there's a big tree. It's like you swing on one big tree and then you stop and then it's like, it just doesn't work. The only way it works is that you're in New York and you got the skyscraper. That's literally the only Spider-Man in Iowa in the cornfields. It's like,
no, it's true. That's pretty funny. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I guess you couldn't be Spider-Man in a 2-story neighborhood, right?
Right. Yeah, Spider-Man in the suburbs. It's like, sorry, Mary Jane. We gotta take the spider van.
Yep, it's true. It's funny.
Yes.
I do love, by the way, there was I know your general disdain for Marvel, but there was one movie that I liked was the
Well, I'll clear it up. I don't have general disdain. I have general disdain for the Avengers movies. That's more
Okay.
specific. It's not all Marvel. I love Spider-Man, and I actually enjoy all the Spider-Mans. Even the Andrew Garfield ones, I enjoy in some weird way. Even though what's her name is so terrible as Gwen Stacy. What's her name? Bug Eyes.
Bug Eyes.
Bug Eyes. What's her
Are
name?
you talking about the newer ones?
Yes. No, in the Andrew Garfield ones.
Oh, okay.
Not
okay.
Zendaya. Zendaya's all right. I think she's okay. She's
all right.
She's okay. She's okay. But yeah. I think Tom Holland, or I always want to call him Tom Collins.
Tom Collins. Oh man.
I think he's good, but it's funny where they get a British guy to play an American superhero. I mean, Tobey Maguire is always going to be my Spider-Man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I like the moment when I think it's is it No Way Home? I don't know.
Or Far From Home. Yeah, No Way Home. Whatever it was. The home one.
Terrible naming conventions for those movies because they're all
I forget it all. Yeah, they're all very Far From Home, and then
the one where they're
home.
in with the 3 Spider-Men. That's the one I'm talking about.
Yes, that was well done.
I like how Tobey Maguire shoots the web from his wrist, and the other two are like, "How'd you do that?" And he's like, "You guys can't do that."
Yeah, I love that.
I always gotta kick out because like in the Spider-Man, I think in the mainstream Spider-Man comics, he has like an attachment, like
Right, he has a device because he's a scientist.
Yes.
He's really smart, so he creates the device, and then also he runs out of cartridge. That's always an element of suspense too, where he'll run out of enough cartridge, and then he won't have enough web to go web slinging. So I got to refill the cartridge. That was even in the animated series they had that where you had to refill. Peter Parker had to refill the cartridge. But where I actually really like, because some people complain about this, of course, because it's not canon to the comics, but in the Tobey Maguire ones, he organically created this web, and now he's able to.
He is legit Spider-Man.
He's legit Spider-Man, which I liked that a lot because spiders naturally make this crazy web that's 100 times stronger than steel. So, like all these crazy facts about spiders. If you look at it, I mean, there's a ton of like spiders. I used to be terrified by spiders. I still am terrified by spiders, but I can appreciate them for how cool they spin a web, or they kill their prey, or they create a web and the prey comes in, and I mean it's pretty crazy. There's a lot of spiders. There's jumping spiders. There's
it's true.
And
you know what? And spiders would appreciate, especially the male spiders would appreciate RIDESHARE because they get eaten after they get to know the female spiders in the biblical sense.
Oh, that's the Black Widows. Yeah,
Yep.
that's why they're
So
called the Black
you gotta
Widows.
get out as fast as you
Yes.
can.
Oh, speaking of Get Out, okay, I sent you that meme, right? I gotta show you that meme.
Yeah. Did you send it to me?
Yeah, I sent you a meme. Um, you know,
Oh, I didn't see it. Sorry. Yeah.
oh, so yeah, oh, hold on. I had to bring this meme up. Um, hold on.
So
Oh,
I haven't seen Sinners. Is it that's the vampire one, right?
yeah,
Okay, we talked a little bit about it.
yeah. Dude, it's they literally copied From Dusk Till Dawn, but they just made it. They just gave it an all black cast, and it's the same movie. Uh, and then yeah, they're getting 16 nominations. They had more nominations than Titanic. Titanic had an Oscar record of 14 nominations when it came out in the 90s, and the only movie that has beaten it is Sinners with 16 nominations. But I'll just bring it up on my phone and I'll show you. But you saw the movie Get Out, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here we so yeah. I'll show you the meme. So the meme is, hold on. So when he goes, oh yeah, I would have voted for Obama the third time.
Yes.
The guy. So yeah, so
Yes.
so this guy says, I would have nominated Sinners a 17th time. It's like, I think it's so fit. That is that is so fitting. That is so fitting for the Academy. Is they just want to nominate as many. They just want it to break records. But what's really interesting is seeing that feedback from people that watch it. They're like, yeah, well, we all know how it works. They'll just give them the nominations, but they won't give them the actual Oscars, which might be true. They might actually not give them any of the Oscars, but I think they will. To be honest, I think they'll give Michael B. Jordan an Oscar. But that movie is not an Oscar-worthy movie, dude. It's literally it's a high budget B movie. And it was made better 30 years ago when it was called From Dusk Till Dawn. It's the same exact premise, literally the same exact premise. There's a bar dance club that is getting overrun by vampires, and they have to live through the night. Like that's the premise of the movie.
I feel like I feel like there is a better movie that fits into the exact same genre that probably deserves more Oscars than this movie. And you know what that movie is? And it is a superhero movie too.
Is it Rideshare?
No, it's
just kidding.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, it's Rideshare. Yes,
I do believe you deserve some Oscars also. But I was gonna say Blade with Wesley Snipes.
Yes, dude. Yes, if Sinners deserves to get 16 Oscar nominations, Blade deserves to get 30 or whatever the maximum amount of Oscars you can get.
And Wesley Snipes, he did his own stunts. That dude's an actual martial artist. Like
Yes.
it has a stirring plot. It has like like actual impending doom kind of danger. There's the complexity between like the old guard of the vampires who don't want to shake things up versus like the new kind of low caste newborns, quote unquote. Blade is the daywalker, so like they fear him and hate him, but like, and he has this thing with his mother. I don't know. I just it's
Dude, and the
supposed to be like
music,
the movie or the music is great.
Dude, yes. Yeah, dude, that movie was incredible. Phenomenal when it came out. That was groundbreaking. Did it get any Oscars? No, of course not. Of course not. But it does.
Well, I mean, that goes to show, right? Is like, because Blade was not meant to be like a complex movie. Blade was like it's an action, kind of like quirky action movie, right? But like the quirky action movie of the 90s is more smarter writing, better acting, and more depth than like the deep movies of today.
And more fun. And
Yes.
absolutely more fun. This movie, Sinners, I was bored to tears watching this movie. And everyone takes themselves so seriously. It's like, yo, girl. He's like, yeah. And like, the girl goes, and I'm like, yeah, that time you really broke me off that one time. And I can't think about that. I'm like, what is happening in this movie? It's supposed to be in the 1800s. And it's like, what? And then and then and then they've got the Irish. Oh my gosh. Okay, so everyone goes into the barn where they're having, which by the way, they play contemporary rap music at this 1800s setting bar. Of course they do. Whatever. So they're playing contemporary rap music, and on the outside is the Irish, the super pale as me, even maybe even more pale Irish. Of course, they're the bad guys. They're the vampires outside of the barn. They're like, oh yeah, and when we can walk with the people and we're terrible vampires, we're going to attack. Like it starts. That's when it becomes the musical. They start singing outside the barn. It's absurd. It is absolutely absurd. And they go to attack the barn, and this is the movie. People are like, "Oh my god, this movie is incredible." I'm like, "This movie is probably one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen." And then I listened to the director talk, Ryan Coogler. Everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, this guy's incredible." Ryan Coogler's incredible. Oh my gosh, he's from Oakland. He directed Black Panther. You know, he's awesome. And he says, yeah, so yeah, I was doing this Mississippi and came from Mississippi and yeah, I was making this movie and yeah, Sinners, I was making this movie Sinners. And I'm like, dude, this motherfucker, this guy is making these big budget big budget like Black Panther, Black Panther 2, freaking all these huge movies, and he can't even communicate. I can't even understand what the hell he's saying, but he's directing these big budget movies. I'm like, dude, that gives me all the confidence in the world completely. I'm like, if this idiot can actually direct this movie, I'm sorry. It's like, if you just listen to the guy talk, it's absurd. But hey, I do like Michael B. Jordan. I think he's a great actor. I do think he's great. He plays twins in this one. But I mean, dude,
he's a pretty good actor. I don't think that I don't mean this about Michael B. Jordan. I feel like the movies he's in get overhyped. I don't necessarily think that he's overhyped. I feel like the movies he's in is like people are getting, I don't know. It's like I think he's probably the movies that he's in is getting a little bit more credit than they deserve, but he does a fine job in them. He's a good actor. I like him and what he's
right.
done.
Again, yeah. But I see. No, I know exactly what you're saying. Everything that he's in, and again with this director Ryan Coogler, people are overhyping his movies because they're not. I mean, It's okay. It's an okay movie. I mean, I watched Sinners, and I'm like, and this is before all the crazy hype with it too. I just watched it because I wanted to watch it. Hey, I want to watch a cool movie. I saw it in IMAX, and I could dig a vampire movie or whatever. But people are like, "Oh, this is a masterpiece," and I'm just like, "Really? This movie. This is literally from dusk till dawn. It was done better, and it was done better 30 years ago." So, and if anyone else saw the other movie, they'd be like, "Oh, wow, this is a direct ripoff."
I I haven't seen it. I'll preface this but I just gotta say when we briefly talked about it in a few weeks ago, I said this too, and I'm gonna stand by it. Um, Irish and vampires just don't mix. I mean, like it's just true, right? It's like, listen, right?
Well, we are pale. We are pale people.
We
Right? The
are,
vampires are pale. Irish people are pale.
but like when you think vampire, right? You're thinking like Italian. You're thinking like
Well, I'm thinking Transylvania, right? I'm thinking
yeah,
Romania. Yeah, I'm thinking
like the
Eastern. I'm thinking
Balkans,
Eastern
right?
European, like Eastern
Yeah,
European people.
Or like, like there's like the kind of like Italian vampire, like the old Italian vampire families and that kind of stuff, right? Like, like Interview with a Vampire, like Anne Rice kind of. And there's a reason for that. And I'm just gonna say, right, is like the, obviously, like there's been people in Ireland forever, but like Ireland is not a city kind of country, right? Like all of Ireland's cities were basically founded by the Vikings and the English, right? So like when you have like vampires, these people have lived for like 1,500 years, or
Right.
you're like okay, like these people, like it makes sense. Italy was like the epicenter of like culture and power and money for 3,000 years, right? Like France, even, right? Like you could say they have like 1,500 years of this kind of like history. But in Ireland, I'm like, well, where were they going? Were they just hiding in the woods, like under a tree? Like there's no buildings, right? There's like thatched roof houses. Like I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was more of they wanted the pale people to be the bad people. I think that's really what it was,
I'm
honestly.
being as generous as I can in this
Yeah,
in this
yeah, yeah,
analysis,
yeah.
right?
No, I know, but
But I
yeah, it
think
was like,
I think you're correct.
yeah, it was just that's just what it was, and so you watch it and yeah, it's just another overhyped movie, just like One Battle After Another. Just right, they just overhype these movies because Oscars has a certain agenda, and they want certain people to get certain awards, and you realize how political this whole thing is. It's not based on the actual merit of the movie and how good it is at all anymore. It's just based on a lot of other factors that which is a bunch of nonsense. But it's frustrating where seeing a movie that normally like back in the day, if there like A Few Good Men back in the day, like that was just a really well made movie, a really well acted movie. It was a
Yeah.
great story. It won a bunch of Oscars and it deserved it. You know, there were a lot of movies that were based on actual characters and storylines and something that was unique and original. But
Oh
Sinners,
yeah.
it's like something that's really original. Or back in the day, To Kill a Mockingbird, another courtroom drama.
Or 12 Angry Men, since we're talking about courtroom dramas.
Yeah, 12 Angry Men. Right. Yeah, you can have a courtroom drama and it doesn't mean it's unoriginal because there's been a million before it. It can be original, but you make a vampire movie, which is a carbon copy from a movie 30 years ago, and then people are like, oh my God, this is so incredible.
Y-
I don't know. I just see through it because maybe a lot of new audiences have not seen From Dusk Till Dawn. They just haven't seen it. They just aren't
Yeah.
educated in that sense.
No, that's and we kind of mentioned it in the past. But you know what vampire movie was really good was Daybreakers.
I never saw that one. I don't think Daybreakers.
Really? Well, I liked it, but it's and I think it's
Oh,
because it was
Ethan
a little bit.
Hawke. Ethan Hawke.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
He
Oh, it's Sam
he
Neill and Willem Dafoe. Oh my
Yes, it's a
gosh, say
great
no
movie.
more.
And William Defoe plays like he has like the most like rotten lines in that. He plays like this hick guy who's like races cars and stuff. And but it's
Oh,
great, and
I'm sold already. Yeah.
it's a good one. I would advise if you want. I know we're doing Simp next week, but maybe like the week after or something. Maybe we could, if you want, we could watch Daybreakers as like a little bit of a older movie review, and we could talk about it if you like.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Yeah, that
It's
sounds good.
good. My wife had never seen it before, and we watched it. I convinced her to watch it, I think 2 years ago, and she really liked it. So it's not just
Dude,
me.
well, hey, Ethan Hawke, Willem Dafoe, and Sam Neill, I'm in. I'm all in. How have I not even heard? Oh, dude, it's
It
funny.
really
In the
did not.
year, I'm just reading the synopsis. Hopefully, it doesn't give it away. In the year 2019, a, a plague has transformed almost every human into vampires. Well, close. You're 1 year off, guys. You guys are 1 year off.
I know, right?
Faced with a dwindling blood supply, The fractured dominant race plots their survival. Meanwhile, a researcher works with a covert band of vamps on a way to save humankind. Oh, say no more. Say no more. It
Oh yeah.
sounds incredible. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, in 2 weeks, guys, we're going to talk about this movie, Daybreakers.
And it really did not get. I watched it when I was I forgot when it came out, but I watched when I was a lot younger. When did this come out?
and it's on
2009.
Tubi. It says 2010. Yeah, 2009, 2010.
Yeah, so I was came out when I was in school, and I really liked it, but nobody's ever seen it. Like
Yeah,
nobody talks
I
about it.
never
Nobody's
even
ever
heard
seen it.
about it. Well, see,
But
this is the
it's
beauty.
good.
This is the beauty about this show is that we can talk about these underrated movies, and that I've seen some movies that you haven't seen, and you've seen movies that I haven't seen. And sure as heck, if I haven't seen it, or if you haven't seen it, then the audience hasn't seen it either. So we can right? So
We have
can
a
talk
nice
about
Venn
it.
diagram going.
Yes, and we can talk about the Hayhoe Studios movies. So it's all good. It all comes back to
Hayhoe
RIDESHARE and
Studios,
Simp
baby.
and Hayhoe Studios, baby, which you guys can join on Patreon, hayhoestudios.com or patreon.com/Hayhoe Studios. I just dropped a bunch of screenshots from. I may or may not have filmed a sequel to the Bigfoot movie the past couple days, and I dropped a lot of behind the scenes images just now. So
I feel like I might. I don't know. I'm kind of busy with work right now, but I feel like sometime in the next month I need to watch this Bigfoot movie
yes, you do. Yes, you do. I will.
because
Yeah.
I come from part of my family is from the Midwest, and part of my family is from like Louisiana, Oklahoma, and so I definitely have what did you call it again? It was a
Redneck romper stomper.
yes. I have the redneck part, so I feel like I need to watch this.
Awesome. Heck yeah. Yeah, you'd like it. Because my main character is the biggest redneck hillbilly of all time.
Well, there we go.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, we had a lot of fun, and we filmed the sequel. I guess I'll say it right now. We filmed the sequel this past week because I had a empty cabin in Tahoe, and it's like you might as well, get some actor friends together and film a sequel to Bigfoot. So, yeah, Bigfoot's Ghost. Maybe we'll talk about that in 3 weeks. So we'll go next week. We'll talk about Simp. Week after that, we'll talk Daybreakers. Week after that, we'll talk Bigfoot. And Bigfoot's Ghost.
Yes.
Bigfoot's Ghost.
I can't wait.
Bigfoot's Ghost.
All right, I have a question for you, and it's not really movie related. Do you believe Bigfoot is real?
Well,
the most polarizing question ever.
It is. It really is. The answer to that question is I want to believe he's out there. I do. I want to believe that he's real. Do I think that he is real? No, I don't. Okay. But I love the idea.
Do you think he could be real though?
I think he could be. I think honestly, he could be real. He could be out there. And I love Bigfoot because it's the universal, non-political, fun, friendly creature that's out there. He's not necessarily a creature. He's also a beast. He's a beast. Damn it. So yeah, I don't know. Bigfoot, something about Bigfoot. Everyone loves Bigfoot, right? No one hates Bigfoot. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's just a fun, universal character.
He just kind of does his thing, right? Like he's like the cool, like he's like the mysterious creature that's could be smart or maybe not, but even if he's not smart, he doesn't really go out and mess with people. He just kind of lives his life in the woods.
Exactly. Right. He's a hide and seek champion. He's
almost got nabbed a few times on camera, but he managed to slink away.
Well, and also the technology surrounding Bigfoot is he automatically makes all the footage around him blurry. So if you try to get him, even if you do get him, your footage will be blurry. because it's just his aura, the technology he has, just seeping through his veins.
There's That's funny. It reminds me of there's this I forgot if you really watched Futurama at all, but there's this episode where they have a they have this conspiracy. Like, I think it's the one where they end up going through a wormhole and go back in time to the 1950s, and they end up in New Mexico, Roswell, right?
Oh,
And
I
like
love Roswell. Oh, yes.
and they have this dude. He's like this short Danny DeVito looking character with like a trench coat and like an old school flash camera, right? And like he takes a picture of a literal like spaceship, and then they just show the picture as like the super blurry like lights in the sky, but it's like the ship is literally right in front of him as he takes the picture somehow.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, that's yeah. Bigfoot and aliens is always kind of comes hand in hand. Bigfoot, aliens, and Bigfoot stole my baby. Yeah, like so. Roswell, dude. I've been to Roswell, and that was a
really?
fun. Yes, that was a fun experience. I went in 2020. I went on a cross country mission from Miami to LA. My friend Sean, the showstopper Valentino, which another rabbit hole we're gonna have to go down. I'll have to take you down at some point. Are all the bachelor party movies? I
I
directed
did see that on IMDb, and I was a little confused.
yeah, yeah. You'll have to watch them. You'll have to watch the first two because I directed them, I guess, direct quote unquote. But and I also acted in them, and I had a good time. They're really fun, silly, over the top. It's basically a Indian James Bond plus Ethan Hunt, Mission Impossible, and 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 a little bit of Naked Gun in there too. So it's over the top comedy parody, James Bond, Mission Impossible, and we're done on a zero budget. But we get cool cars, cool locations, hot chicks. It's fun. I mean, yeah, it's yeah. That's a whole nother rabbit hole. Maybe in 4 weeks we'll have to do the bachelor party
Okay.
deep dive.
Hey, we still have to hang out sometime so we can watch. What were we gonna watch? We were gonna watch The Exorcist, all of the Neil Breen movies, and
Yes.
wasn't there something else? I feel like there was something else.
I think Exorcist and Neil Breen is oh you I think you had one more, or was I gonna tell you to see one of them because you said The Exorcist? I had a movie for you maybe.
I can't remember. I'll just have to ask my wife. That's one of the nice things about getting married is that you can export important things to a second brain and not have to worry about it.
Yes, and she'll remember everything. Remember that.
Everything. And if
Yes,
she
everything.
doesn't, that's okay because I also forgot. So
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, we have to do that. And then maybe a separate night we'll have to hang out and watch the bachelor party 1 and 2
oh
together.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. Yeah, those are fun. Now there's 7 of them, by the way.
7
7. Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the bachelor party.
Of these bachelor party movies, which I wasn't involved in any of them after 2, but you'll probably see why. But but yeah, I mean he's made a movie a year for the past 7 years, I believe. So
I'm guessing this is not the one with Tom Hanks.
no. No. Although we did film at the Biltmore Hotel, which is the same place where they filmed The Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. We did film at that same spot.
The Playboy's Impossible Mission.
Oh yeah, you're looking at it right now. Okay. Yeah.
That cover for that movie.
Yes. So shout out. So my friend Jeremy made this cover, and shout out to Sean, the showstopper Valentino, if you're watching. Say what's up. He's a friend of mine. He's a funny guy, but let me see. Yeah, let me just share this with the world here. So yeah, this is the This is the bachelor party poster. My friend Jeremy Alinsky designed it. Same guy who designed the rideshare poster. Same guy who designed the simp poster. Designed this poster. And yeah, this is the first one. It's the most over the top douchebag.
that center picture of him looking like as buff as Arnold Schwarzenegger in the 70s.
Yes, and all this bikini. Okay, so fun fact: the blonde girl, halfway up near his left shoulder in the top version, because he has to be in the poster more than once.
Of course.
That blonde girl, is the same girl that was in Simp. Brooke Piedra.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's how I met her. I met her on set of this bachelor party movie. And that's how we got to know each other. So that's how she got the role of Simp, honestly. So we got to thank the bachelor party for providing that.
There we go. When your lifestyle's a fantasy, how do you deal with reality? Oh man, that's just too much.
So, dude, I tell Sean Valentino. I told him every time. I'm like, dude, the joke that I always say, as I told you, hey, I'm a tweet away from becoming a millionaire, right? If some celebrity tweets out one of my movies, or if something blows up or goes viral, I say that about him, about these movies. Is I swear at some point they are going to catch fire. And actually, it has a couple 100,000 views on YouTube, the first one. And
oh, really?
So, yeah. And then here's the poster to the sequel. I'll blow it up a little bit.
The most famous bachelor in the galaxy.
Yeah. So if you see in the poster, if you recognize someone at the very top there, I don't know if you do or not, but I play.
Is that you with
me.
A curly-headed wig?
Yes, the curly-headed wig, which I wanted him to actually draw it as real hair, but he drew it as a wig, which I don't know, it's kind of more funny that way. And it looks like a wig even in the drawing.
So are you in that movie?
Yeah, I'm in it. I play the main bad guy.
I was going to say you look like a villain in that.
I'm Duke Double Lord. Remember, Sean, we used to rock the world and get the girls.
That's pretty amazing, I have to admit. And I wish that you had that hair for real.
I wish I did too, man. Actually, yeah, I wish so too. You and me both. Actually, back in the day, my hair was that curly and that blonde. My senior year of high school.
I'm thinking back to the picture that you sent me about from your yearbook.
Yes. yes. If I grew it out, it would have. Man, what could have been? What would have been?
That reminds me. My dad had my grandmother. My dad's mom has had flaming red hair, and my dad had flaming red hair that eventually both of them turned brunette, right? But
but they don't turn gray. The thing is, the flaming red hair, they don't really go gray very often, or if they do, it's like really way late in life.
Yes, right? Exactly. Well, that's because if your hair's already brown like mine, there's only one way to go. But when your hair's red, and it has a couple of transitionary periods. But no, but it's funny is my dad, my grandmother was a single mother for a lot of his life, right, his childhood, and so my dad always used to refer to himself as the unwanted redheaded stepchild.
Well, isn't the redheaded stepchild already unwanted? Isn't that already?
That was the joke. It's like basically just double wow.
That's like an oxymoron. It's a free gift. It's like, wait, so is it free or is it a gift? It's like, no, it's a free gift.
But yeah, that was I will say this, when I was younger I did want the flaming red hair, but now I barely have any hair at all, so you know.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, people always said I had red hair, which I would get mad at them over that because it's dirty blonde. Okay, it's dirty blonde, but my beard is red. I will give him that. There's some redness here, which I've
Yeah,
got
you
some mud
got
in.
some solid auburn. But you know what's funny is I actually like my hair is because my mom was born blonde, and so I have brown hair, but my beard and my mustache have little shots of blonde, white, and red in them.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. It's
Very
best of all
strange.
worlds. Best of all worlds, right there,
It's a nice little medley.
and it adds character.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So I had a question since we've been kind of talking about movies. So who is like your like biggest inspiration? So it could be like somebody who just inspires you, and I mean in the movie industry. So like somebody who like like a director or writer that like inspires you, and maybe you've like kind of adapted some of their styles or techniques, like that kind of thing. Like as a who is your kind of spiritual mentor or mentors?
Well, my first one growing up was Alfred Hitchcock. And
Classic.
yeah, so Alfred Hitchcock, I like him a lot because he made 52 movies, I want to say 52. So not only was he was prolific, right? So he made a ton of really great movies, but he would just make a ton of movies.
Oh
So
yeah.
when you're making 50 plus movies, I mean you're making one a year for 30 years or sorry, for 50 years, 50 some years. And I always like that where I like just and also Robert Rodriguez, who made the book Rebel Without a
Mm.
Crew, how he made a $7,000 picture Once Upon a Time in Mexico. He
Okay.
basically he sold his blood for it. I mean, he did whatever he could to pay it off when he was 22 years old. He made these movies, but what he always said, and actually going back to From Dusk Till Dawn, is he always said because he came out of the gate from Once Upon a Time in Mexico, or El Mariachi. Sorry, El Mariachi was his first movie. El Mariachi, the guitar player with Antonio Banderas, was his first movie, and it did really well. He got the Spanish networks, and it blew up, and he made a bunch of money, and he was able to make a sequel. And then he always says you there's so much pressure if you have one that's out of the gate that does really well. You want to surprise audiences, so don't come out with a new movie. Come out with 3 new movies in the next year. So
Mm.
and then also by that method too, you want to be so prolific and not put so much pressure on each project, because once you put all this pressure on each project, now all the critics are going to be expecting a certain thing, or they're going to be the audience is going to have all this crazy high standards where you say, okay, no, I made 3 new movies. I made a Bigfoot movie, I made a bachelor party movie, then I made a cat documentary. It's like, wait, what? Yeah, for me, I'm always like, hey, I just want to make what I want to make and just keep making it and not get too hung up on each movie all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I mean I think that's kind of we've talked a little bit about that's one of the issues with like a lot of like Disney movies is that they kind of make these really expensive movies that there's a lot of pressure to return investment on, and they kind of make it a big old thing. But I I I didn't know Robert Rodriguez made Kill Bill, which is amazing. I love those movies.
Well,
Um,
he didn't make
or
Kill Bill. Quentin Tarantino did, but
Quentin Tarantino, my bad.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
he in them?
Uh, I think Robert Rodriguez, because they're both friends, he had a say in that movie. But like
Okay.
From Dusk Till Dawn is Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez and George Clooney put together. So it's Quentin Tarantino and
Oh,
George Clooney starring in this vampire movie where they have to stay till dawn while these vampires attack him. Right. So that's the
okay.
premise. And that's the same exact premise of Sinners. The same, like literally zero difference from that movie and Sinners. But Robert Rodriguez was really prolific, and he's still prolific, and he has his own studio in Austin, Texas. So I would
He
say
also made Spy Kids. It
yes,
looks
he
like
did.
he directed Spy
Yes,
Kids.
yes, he did. Yes, he did make Spy Kids. So he made that once his kids were born. He wanted to make a kids movie. He also made Machete. He made Sin City, Planet Terror. So I think from his standpoint, like I appreciate how prolific he is and how he came from nothing. I mean, he came from making silly movies in his parents' backyard. That's exactly where I came from. And he made a huge success out of it. Now, do I want the same type of career? Not necessarily. Everyone wants to carve their own path. He also directed The Faculty, which, by the way, is a very good movie.
I've not seen that one.
Oh, and Chris Wallace, if you're still watching, Chris, he recommended the movie. Shoot, I forget the name of it. It was Katie Holmes. 90s movie. Oh, it was Disturbing Behavior. So, have you seen The Faculty? Did you say you saw The Faculty or no?
No, I haven't seen that
Okay.
one.
So basically, The Faculty, there's something wrong with The Faculty, right? It's kind of like a Twilight Zone episode where the faculty's acting all strange, and then the students are figuring out what the heck's going on with the faculty, with the students. And then Chris Wallace recommended Disturbing Behavior, which I'll show you guys. This Disturbing Behavior is kind of like The Faculty, except it's the students. There's something wrong with the students, and there's a kid that moves into a new school, and he has to figure out what the heck is going on with the students. And it's a very, very 90s movie. I mean, it's about as 90s.
It looks very 90s.
Yeah, it's about as 90s as you can get, this movie. And it was really good. I liked it a lot. I mean, I don't think it's as good as The Faculty because it's a bit too on the nose. But you've got James Marsden, Katie Holmes, William Sadler, who he played Death in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He was
the second one.
Yeah, he was the Grim Reaper, the first one.
Yep.
Yeah. And he was in one of my favorite shows, Roswell. Going back to Roswell, I loved that movie, Roswell. Or that show. The show Roswell. Did you ever watch the show Roswell?
I didn't. I never jumped on that one, but I do remember it being on the TV though.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I wouldn't do homework and I would watch Roswell instead. That's what I did. And then years later, I was at the Golden Globes and I saw Shiri Appleby, the girl that plays Liz in this girl right here. The lead right there. You see her?
Yep.
Here's better. Yeah, so I see her. I had the biggest crush on her. And then I saw her at the Golden Globes. And I said to her, I'm like, oh my gosh, hey, you were in my favorite show, Roswell, growing up. I had the biggest crush on you. And you were awesome. She's like, well, do you want a picture or something? I'm like, yeah, sure. And we got a picture. I got a picture with her.
Nice.
At the Golden Globes. But anyway, and this was, man, I love this show. It's a highly underrated show. High school drama. They're all aliens, except for Liz herself, the one who I had the crush on. Michael is an alien. The other guy, the lead guy, Max, is an alien. And then Liz Hagglethorne on the very far left. She became really big, and then she fell off the face of the earth. But anyway, it's a really good show. I love Roswell. I don't know. It's better than Smallville. It's better than Beverly Hills 90210. I liked it. I liked it because it's a drama, but it's about aliens. There's aliens in it too.
But is it better than the OC?
That's a really tough question. That's a very tough question. I personally think it is better than the OC, but the OC was a close second for me. I will say.
Okay,
I will say that. Yeah, I loved the OC. Oh my gosh. California. Okay, anyway.
Hey, you start debuting your musical career here too?
Right. Yeah. My musical career, California. No, you should check out Roswell. I don't know. It was my guilty, not so guilty pleasure show I would watch. And it is a good show too. The lead, the main song's Enya, right? Or is it Enya? Lead song, Roswell. Here, Dido. Sorry, Dido. The same one that did the Eminem song. You know the Eminem song? My tea's gone cold. I wonder why I get out of bed at all. The Stan song. Remember that song? No.
No, not quite, but you should sing it for a little bit longer.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember this one show. Maybe it was it Taken? There was a because I remember you got kind of my noggin a jogging about this. There was a show in the early 2000s, I think, late 90s, early 2000s, and it was like about an alien, and then they have like an alien human hybrid kid, and like I don't really remember it too well, but I do remember watching that, and then my brain was like, maybe that's Roswell. And then you start talking about how they're in high school, and I'm like, all right, well, that was definitely not Roswell.
Yeah, well, they're all in high school, but they all look like they're 25 or 30 years old. I mean, typical. I mean, typical.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
common.
typical MO of late 90s, early 2000s, or any one of those shows. Yeah, it is a fun show. I mean, it is really good. If you ever watch X-Files or
Well, I thought of X-Files when you said I want to believe.
yes, right. Well, aliens. Speaking of aliens, there's two options. Either we're alone in the universe, or there are extraterrestrials out there, and both instances are equally terrifying.
I was gonna ask next. Now we've covered the Bigfoot issue. Aliens,
Yes.
ancient aliens, Roswell aliens, no alien. Ow. Hey, sorry, give me 1 second.
Did your cat just bite you?
No, I've been enlisted to help with a thing, and yeah, sorry, give me 1 second.
Okay. All right. Well, he's being enlisted to help with a thing. If you guys are here, come in, say hi. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I'm Tremain Hayhoe here at Movie Night. Movie Night, the night where we talk about movies. Tonight we talked about Rideshare, my first movie. I made the co-host here, Mr. Uncanny, watch Rideshare. So I'm like, dude, if you have to, if you want to be a co-host of a Hayhoe Studios show, you have to watch Hayhoe Studios movies. It only makes sense. Although he did watch the Cattown Story, and we have talked about that a little bit. But Rideshare was the first written, directed, produced movie that I did, and he watched it and he liked it, which is really nice. I always tell him, hey guys, give me good, honest feedback. And he asked me a bunch of questions. And then next week, we're going to talk about Simp, the second movie that I wrote, directed, produced, and get him up to speed with everything. He's also reading my latest script, which is pretty interesting. And Uncanny is a very smart guy. He's a gentleman and a scholar. So he gave me some good feedback on that.
I was just about to call you a gentleman and a scholar before you called me that.
Oh, well, thank you. I thought you weren't listening. I thought you were still gone. So I was.
Oh, don't worry, Tremaine. I'm always listening.
I'm
always all right. And this is last time that Uncanny's on the show.
Right? Yeah. And Uncanny, it was nice knowing you. Bye.
Yeah, we do need to schedule a time for you to come visit the pad, and I can come visit your pad. I know I was gonna go check out the home studio, that Hayhoe Studio.
That's right. Hayhoe Studio right now, baby. Yes.
And I didn't lie, by the way. I did take you to Sizzler.
You did. We went to Sizzlers, by the way. Which how was it? How was the experience at Sizzler?
It
Can you
was
talk about?
great.
It was great.
Sizzler's amazing. Good company, good food.
Yes, yes, it was good company. It was. It was good. It was exactly how I remember it 30 years ago when I went there. The last time I went there, it was. It's like a blast from the past. Certain areas that you've been to that you've never been to before. It's like those Rollerland places.
Yep.
You're kind of in this time warp. You go into it and you're in this like time warp.
Or like
You,
mini golf.
yes, yeah, mini golf, right? Yeah, yeah, you're just if you remember going there as a kid and it hasn't changed at all, and it's Scandia, USA or something. It's like, oh wow, this is the exact
I've,
same.
I've had the same thought about Scandia, by the way, that I've had since I was a little kid, which is who in their right mind is going to go on that giant ride and and potentially get flung onto the freeway?
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's right by the freeway. I always see it going off too, so people are riding it,
I know.
right?
And I'm like, who are these people and what kind of death wish do they have?
Totally. Yeah, I have not gone in that crazy ride. Do you have to pay extra for it? I'm
Oh,
guessing.
yeah, absolutely.
Man,
But yeah.
I've always been a Sunsplash guy for me personally. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
Sunsplash, yeah, since it came out and the castle and
Me
the
and
arcade and
me and my dad back when I was a kid, we used to get because during the cold like the winter months, right? The water park's not open, but they do have all those arcades. So me and my dad would he would get us like these passes where you could go on like a Saturday and like you basically had unlimited games. And so we used to
oh
like it was a good cheap way to, hang out and get out of the house and I could kick his butt at some arcade games.
yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, wow. I forgot about those unlimited passes. I do they still do that? I hope they do.
I don't know. That would literally be like a bad blast from the past for me.
Yeah, no, at the Galleria now they have a huge arcade, and it's kind of like a casino. It's a kids casino. There's a ton of arcade games out there, and they're all. It's like put your money in and do this coin machine, or do this. Try to get this Nintendo Switch from a claw machine, and it's trying to. I'm like, wow, video games are kind of like mini arcade machines or mini gambling machines, right? Like these arcade games are you're priming adults to start gambling. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
That's a crazy
Well,
theory.
some of them are. Other ones like the ones where you're trying to like do the claw machines or like the random chance kind of flashing spinning lights definitely. But the ones that I used to play, especially with my dad, they were training me for a very different path in life, which is not gambling, but being enraged at a video game and shouting a large chain of expletives,
Which
which prepared me for Xbox Live.
well, there you go. There you go. Which arcade games did you play?
My one of my favorite ones was well, I like the ones where you would like have the Jurassic Park one where you had like the plastic gun thing.
Oh
That was
yeah.
pretty cool.
Oh yeah. Or the Terminator one? Did you do the Terminator one?
Yes, the
Oh my
Terminator one
gosh, yeah.
also
Oh,
classic.
oh, and then Area 51. Did you play Area 51?
I
That
didn't play that one.
Oh, that was my jam.
I'm
That's the same thing. You have the gun, you
of
have the plastic
course.
gun.
I didn't know you were such like
Oh my
an
gosh.
alien lover.
My high school quote in senior year with my quote says aliens exist. I say that in my senior quote.
See, I thought you were
And
just being goofy.
well, I am.
You're like, I'm joking, but I'm not joking.
But I'm not. It's serious. I'm serious, but I'm not being serious at the same
But
time.
yeah, the other one was the other one I really liked was the truck race ones, but it's like where you had the wheel, right?
Oh,
And but like it was
maximum overdrive.
yes,
Yes.
oh so challenging, especially
Wow.
because I did not have very good spatial reasoning.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, those the trucker or Cruising USA. I like Cruising USA. Cruise.
USA, oh, it's too funny, man.
Yeah, those are fun.
All right, we've been on for 3 hours.
Yes,
I
we
think
hit.
I think I'm about to jump off.
Okay, well, don't jump too far off. That would be bad. Yes, we hit the 3 hour mark, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. If you really want to support the Hayhoe Studios and everything we do, go to patreon.com/Hayhoe Studios. That'll definitely help us get into a real movie studio and keep making movies. So, Uncanny, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for being who you are. Let's give you the last words.
Thank you for having me on, as always. And go watch Rideshare if you haven't. Go watch it. It's a fun movie. It's you've heard a bunch about it. Go experience it yourself. And if you have seen it, go watch it again.
I like that. Go watch it again and rate it on IMDb.
10 out of 10, baby.
10 out of 10, baby. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next Monday. Next Monday, we're going to talk about the free solo guy that's doing the Taipei 101 skyscraper on Netflix live. They postponed it. It's supposed to go today. They're doing it tomorrow. I'm speaking with the director of a movie that his mom is in. His mom, the guy who's doing the Netflix thing tomorrow, is his mom was the oldest woman to climb El Capitan. She was 60 something years old when she climbed it, and she's climbed it multiple times since. But I'm going to have the director of Climbing into Life. She is an awesome director. She's from Philadelphia, and the actual free solo guy who's climbing tomorrow is from Sacramento. So yeah, got all these crazy connections. We're going to be on there Monday talking about that. In the meantime, have a great weekend, guys. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Bye. See you Monday.
Bye, everyone.
It's movie night, baby, movie. Movie night, baby. 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 Watch a movie and we talk about it. Then we talk about it on the show. Watch a movie and we talk about it. Then we talk about it on the show.